So it's hotter than Lucifer's tainted nutsack in here, and I just got my second dose of vaccine, so I can't tell if I'm sweating from the Moderna running through my veins or if it's just because it's hot as balls in here. Whatever, I'm just gonna try to do this video because this is one I've been wanting to do for a while. I did this years ago. Many years ago. I was completely hammered at the time. I thought it would be a great idea to fill a glass like this big full of like hardcore liquor and then just drink it as I talked about the Blu-ray collection, and I got fucking wasted. It was a terrible idea. So this time we're just gonna do it sober. I don't know how this is gonna go. I know most of you probably aren't gonna watch this, but this is something that I've wanted to do for a while. So yeah, we're just gonna go through the movie collection. There's all kinds of shit in here. There's Blu-rays, laser discs, VHSs. There's even some like video CDs, if you know what those are. All kinds of shit in here. So let's just get on with this because this is probably gonna be really long. I'm gonna have to edit the crap out of this to like make it so it's not painful to sit through. All right, let's start this off. First up, 3D. I'm gonna have to fucking get the fucking lens. Come on, light. Don't. 3D Rarities collection. There we go. 3D Rarities collection. This is basically just a 3D Blu-ray full of like history, old commercials from like all the way back to like the 1920s and 30s and 40s, back in like the black and white era of like early 3D. Like this has some of the earliest 3D footage ever filmed, but restored so that you can watch it in like high def on an actual 3D display. It's really fucking cool. I mean, it's basically, it's just a big Blu-ray gimmick, but it's really cool. 28 days later, 28 weeks later, one of those combo packs. I don't like combo packs, but this was like $5, so I was like, whatever. I love both these movies. 28 Days Later is one of the only few very genuinely creepy zombie movies. 28 Weeks Later is just a solid zombie movie. 127 Hours. Great movie. James Franco plays Aaron Ralston. Gets his arm stuck between a rock and a canyon wall. Has to tear it off to get out. True story. Probably one of James Franco's best performances, if not his best performance. 300. I mean, half-naked Gerard Butler fighting the Persians. It's good stuff. It's 300. Everybody's seen. The Ultimate James Bond Collection. This one is, I think, was an Amazon exclusive. I'm not 100% sure, but it has all of them, like every movie in the franchise, up until I think Spectre's not in this. So I think it goes all the way up to, what was the newest one? Skyfall. It goes all the way up to Skyfall. And then there was like an empty spot in it for Spectre, but I'm not one of those people that is going to separate my fucking movies. So, Spectre. But I have it in its actual case because I'm not going to take this out and then put it into the James Bond collection to like toss the case away. What the hell would the point of that be? I'm a collector. We don't do that shit around here. Oh, I hate this. 1917. This is a great movie, but as you can see, I don't know if you can actually see it, but like the top corner there, I bought it from Walmart and they stuck like a fucking sticker on it, and it was like one of those stickers that wouldn't come off, and when I pulled it off, it tore like the slip cover, and now it's got like this sticky residue on it that makes it stick to the other Blu-rays on the shelf, and I hate that so much. I mean, great movie. Damn good movie. But fuck. Did Walmart ever screw me on that one? One of the dumbest movies ever made, but a great movie is 2012. I mean, when I have kids one day, knock on wood, I'm going to show them this movie and then I'm going to tell them, I lived through this. You have no idea what it was like. When they complain about like, you know, because their iPhone 50s don't like connect to the internet in like a millisecond and they can't bioscan their brains, I'm gonna be like, well, I lived through 2012, so you think you got it hard. Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. This is fucking stupid. This is a really stupid movie. This is like early Anthony Mackie movies before he was the Falcon. This is, I want to get this in 3D because this is like one of those movies that's like super gimmicky and like dumb, but I feel like 3D would probably escalate it a little bit, you know what I mean? Classic. Ace Ventura. Pet Detective. Great movie. Absolute great movie. Both of them are. And I have, okay, there it is. By extension, When Nature Calls. Also a great movie. I'm more partial to When Nature Calls just because I have more nostalgic connection to this one because I watched it a lot as a kid. But both these movies are like prime Jim Carrey. They're fucking hilarious. Next up, Alien Anthology. Great set. Great set. It's super cheap too. You can usually buy it for really cheap nowadays. It comes with all the Alien movies up till, I mean, Resurrection. It's got Resurrection. It doesn't have AVP or AVPR or Prometheus or like any of that other crap. But it's a great set. I just don't like it because it's a fingerprint magnet. But it tons of bonus features. I mean, this is like a definitive Alien set as far as I'm concerned. But, and you will notice very quickly, I don't have any 4K Blu-rays because I don't give a fuck. My projector is 3D, but I sacrificed 4K for the 3D. It's just a 1080p projector. So I haven't bothered to upgrade to 4K. I really don't give a shit. I really don't care at this point. Maybe one day in the future when I have a... But I'm not going to like replace all these Blu-rays with like 4K versions. It was bad enough replacing the DVDs with Blu-ray versions. Stop. Akira, classic anime. One of the most influential anime films of all time. If you haven't seen it, see it. It's a fucking classic. Alita, Battle Angel. I love Alita, Battle Angel. This is like one of the few good adaptations of a manga. This is a great movie. I mean, if you go into it, like, I think this is horribly underrated. Very underrated. This is another one that I want to replace in 3D. Because I really want to see it in 3D. Long history of this one. It was supposed to be like James Cameron's been trying to make this movie since I was a kid. And then finally it got made by Robert Rodriguez. And not James Cameron. It was produced by him, though. So I really like this movie a lot. And I want to see it in 3D. And I think it deserves a sequel. I don't think it's going to get one. But I think it really deserves a sequel. I don't like that they left it, you know. The Amazing Spider-Man. I remember when I saw this in theaters, I thought at the time, damn, this is like the best Spider-Man movie I've ever seen. This is better than Tobey Maguire ones. And then I saw it again recently because I got the 3D one. It's not that good. It's not as good as I remember. It's kind of boring, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. I don't like it that much. The 3D was okay. There was nothing like groundbreaking about the 3D, but I don't know. It wasn't. I still prefer the Tobey Maguire and Tom Holland ones over this one. But whatever. I'm sure people are gonna disagree with me. Oh, here we go. Let's just get this whole bundle out of the way here. These ones were my childhood. American Pie. Fucking great. American Pie 2. One of my favorite comedies of all time. I love American Pie 2. American Reunion. Because I don't have American Wedding for some reason. I think it's because I saw it when I was younger, and I was kind of disappointed by Reunion because it felt a little off. But then as I saw it later in life, I was like, okay, yeah, American Wedding's pretty funny. Actually, it's pretty good. So I'm going to pick it up. But I couldn't give two shits about any of those other American Pies. Like any of the fucking other ones. Like Bandcamp and all the spin-off ones. Fuck those things to hell. I don't care. American Sniper. I mean, Rubber Baby Doll, right? I mean, it's a good movie. It's a good movie. It's not perfect. I don't think it's as good as everybody... Some people were saying it was, but Clint Eastwood's a pretty great director. So I mean, it's okay. It was pretty good. I mean, I've seen better war movies, so it's not like it's a masterpiece by any means. Aha, Appleseed Alpha. The Appleseed movies are pretty good, but Alpha, I really like this a lot. And this is a UK import. I'm Canadian, so most of this shit is North American, but there are some companies like, I think Universal does it, Warner Brothers does it, and some Disneys do it, where they release them as they're region free. And this was like $5 to import from the UK, or $20 to get it in Canada. So obviously I was gonna fucking import it. It's the exact same disc. Classic. Apocalypse Now. The, what is it called? Full Disclosure Edition. This comes with the movie, fuckloads of bonus features. Then it also includes Heart of Darkness, which was like the documentary about the making of Apocalypse Now, which is in of itself is already a great movie. So it's like having two movies in one. Another great movie, Apollo 13. Damn good one. Damn good one. I don't think I need to explain much about Apollo 13, but it's one of those movies that keeps getting like re-releases. Like I think there's already like a 20th anniversary edition. This is the 15th anniversary edition. I don't know what the fucking difference is. I'm pretty sure they have the same bonus features on every disc. Aquaman, because I wanted the 3D one. This looks amazing in 3D, but the problem is, to get the 3D North American release, it was like $50. But to get it, the UK version of it, it was like 20. But the UK version is fucking censored and all the blood is removed. So it was like, do I want to see it in 3D Do I care enough about the blood being removed? This is one of my greatest guilty pleasures of the 90s, and I don't care what anybody says. I don't give a fuck. I love Armageddon. I saw this when I was a kid, and I loved it. The amount of times I've watched this movie, the amount of times I've listened to the soundtrack, I love Armageddon. It's stupid. It is scientifically inaccurate. I don't give a shit. It would have been way easier to just train astronauts to be drillers than it would be to train drillers to be astronauts. Whatever. It's peak 90s to me. I love the fuck out of this movie. I watch it tons of times. Many, many times. It's fun. I don't care. Army of Darkness. Great movie. Great movie. Peak Bruce Campbell's. Campbell's Soup. Bruce Campbell. Peak Bruce Campbell. Great movie. Kind of a shitty Blu-ray as far as like, you know, you'd think with calling it the Screwhead Edition means it would have like a bunch of bonus features on it, but it really doesn't. Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery. I love the movies. I don't know why I only have the first one. I don't have the second one. I don't know why, but I don't. I need to rectify that. I even like what was the third one? Goldmember. I even like Goldmember. It's not as good as the other two, but I still think it's funny. They're stupid. I love the Austin Powers movies. I think they're hilarious. I got to get the other two at some point. I think one that everybody owns, Avatar, the Ultimate Collector's Edition that comes with like every version of the movie, other than the 3D one. But this has like the extended cut that's like 4 hours long, and like all the bonus features and everything like that. It's the only thing I don't like about this Blu-ray set is that the discs aren't labeled. So when you go to like look at the fucking thing, you can't tell like what disc you're actually taking out of the box, which is a really stupid thing to do. All right, next up, Avatar again, except this is the 3D version. If you're gonna watch Avatar, 3D, this is probably the best 3D movie ever made. Say what you will about the movie itself. I think it's good. I like Avatar, but it's pretty formulaic for the most part, and it's basically like a rehash of like Pocahontas and like Dances with Wolves and like Last of the Mohicans and shit. But the 3D is amazing, and it's the best 3D movie probably ever made. So if you're gonna watch it, the 3D version is basically the way to go. This is the one that was like, I think the only way to get this in 3D is to buy like actually, I don't even know if you can anymore. This is the one that was like released with like, it came with like TVs. Like when you bought a Panasonic 3D TV back when 3D was still big, it came with Avatar as a way to like showcase off the 3D capabilities, you know what I mean? Avengers. 3D. Everybody's got Avengers. Going back and watching this movie now is weird. How far we've come. How much crazy shit has been happening in the cinematic universe. This one, going back to this one, it feels so grounded, and it doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't even feel that long ago. It's great. It's Avengers. It's great. And speaking of Avengers, I have the UK import of Age of Ultron because I wanted the 3D one. Again, getting it in 3D in North America is like $50 because 3D Blu-rays for whatever reason are rare here now. But to import it from the UK, I think this was like 10, and it works over here. So I was like, whatever. I guess we're just gonna do that then. Pretty good 3D. Say what you will about Age of Ultron, I think it's okay. It's definitely the weakest of the Avengers movies, but the 3D is really good. Speaking of Avengers, Infinity War. I don't need to say much about it. It's Infinity War. Unfortunately, this is not the 3D one. If I want the 3D one, I have to import the son of a bitch from the UK. Who am I kidding? I'm probably going to do it. Endgame. It's fucking Endgame. Alright, these, hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Back to the Future, the trilogy, the 30th anniversary set. I fucking love these movies. All of them. They're all great. First one's obviously one of the best movies ever. But the whole trilogy as a whole, this is a great set. Tons of great bonus features on it. Really just great presentation in general. It's like one of those digibook things. The only thing I don't like about this box is that when you like open it, it does this. Oh! Yeah, like separate. It like, I don't know. The way it's like, it like sticks to the plastic, but like not enough to like, I don't know. It's shitty design on the back of it, but but I mean, it's still a great set. 20th anniversary of Bad Boys. This is 1 and 2 in the same bundle. They're the same freaking discs. Like they're not like special Blu-ray releases or anything. It's literally just the base collections in one box. But it was cheap, and I like the Bad Boys movies. Whatever. I don't have 3 though. Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice Ultimate Edition. Ultimate Edition is better. Still not a great movie by any means. I think it's good. I like it, but it's definitely like one of those movies where you need to watch the ultimate cut. The theatrical cut is not nearly as good. But I want to get the 3D version. And the Ultimate Edition is not in 3D. Only the standard one is. Battle Royale. I fucking love Battle Royale. This is legitimately one of my top 10 movies of all time. Probably number 2. Sometimes it switches between this and like Your Name, but this is one of my favorite movies of all time. This set includes the director's cut of the movie, the theatrical cut of the movie, and Battle Royale 2, which we don't talk about because that movie's a fucking travesty. It's like getting your nuts flicked over and over again. The dub on this is horrible. But, I mean, if you're going to watch Battle Royale, you need to watch the original Japanese version. Watching the dub is like a travesty. It sucks. The dub is horrible. Behind Enemy Lines. Perfect time. I should probably rewatch this now that, like, Owen Wilson is, like, back in, like, the mainstream again with, like, Loki and stuff. I don't remember this that well. I haven't seen this in a very long time. I should probably watch this again sometime. I only remember the beginning. Next, this is a good one. Big Game. If you haven't seen this, it's basically Samuel Jackson plays the president of the United States, and he gets caught out in the wilderness with a fucking, I think it's like a Norwegian little boy, but he gets hunted by like Ray, who the fuck is it? Ray something. The guy who played the Punisher in Warzone, but he gets hunted by that dude, and it's fun as hell. And, like, nobody talks about it. This movie's entertaining as shit. I would highly recommend that if you haven't seen it. And Big Hero 6. Everybody knows Big Hero 6. Disney movie. I would like to get this in 3D. Maybe someday down the road. Black Hawk Down. A really good, probably one of the best war movies ever made. Problem is, this Blu-ray set has fuck all for bonus features on it. Which is dumb, because there's a 3-disc DVD set that has an entire disc, 2 discs almost, of like bonus features. None of them are on here. The only thing that's on this is a fucking commentary. I think the same thing goes for Armageddon. Like, Armageddon had like a Blu-ray set, or a DVD set that had like a commentary and all kinds of shit in it. And then the Blu-ray has nothing. Why? One of my favorite movies of all time. Blade Runner 2049. Another one that I would like to get in 3D, but I've heard that 3D is not great. This is like a slow burn, but if you're like a fan of like Cyberpunk and all that kind of shit, it's a great movie. You just have to go into it expecting it to be slow, because for whatever reason they advertised it as an action movie. Like, all the trailers make it seem like it's going to be like this high intensity action flick, but if you've seen Blade Runner, you know it isn't going to be. This is the same thing. This is not action packed. It's very slow. It's very methodic. It makes you think. I mean, there's action in it, but it's definitely not like an action movie. Okay, it sounded like it was loose in the case, and that gave me collector anxiety. Blue Planet 2, probably one of the best animal documentaries ever made. It's fucking gorgeous. The shots in this series are amazing. Like, amazing. And it's like something that you need to see in Blu-ray. At least Blu-ray. I mean, obviously, this is one of those things that I would probably, like, go 4K for, you know? But this is amazing, if you're into this kind of thing. Anyway, Brave, probably one of the weaker Pixar movies. Still good, not their best. Solid, but not the greatest thing I've ever seen. Braveheart. Great. Fucking great. Great movie. Great movie. Classic movie. Everybody knows Braveheart. I don't really know what else I need to say about it. Brother Bear, back when Disney was doing those 2-disc collector's editions that came with the good movie and then came with the fucking sequel that nobody wanted to watch. So it's like one of those things where, like, I don't think Brother Bear 2 has ever left this case. I think it's just, I've only ever watched the first one because I liked the first one. I saw it one day. It was like, this was like the last, I think, or no, maybe it was Home on the Range. But it was either this or Home on the Range was like one of Disney's final hand-animated films before they went completely CGI. Brightburn. Superman origin story if it was R-rated and he was evil. That's basically exactly what this is. Okay, it wasn't great. I hyped myself up a bit too much for it when it came out, and then I watched it and I was like, well, I mean, it's alright. Buried. This is a very underrated movie, and probably one of Ryan Reynolds' best performances that he's ever given. The entire movie takes place in a coffin. The whole movie takes place in a coffin. This is a great fucking movie that nobody seems to talk about ever, because Ryan Reynolds is known for being a big action star and like Deadpool and everything else. But this is a great, if you haven't seen this, I would highly, highly recommend this movie. This is a fucking solid thriller. Solid. Cabin in the Woods. Great movie. Great homage to horror. Great homage to like not House of the Dead, Evil Dead, and like all this other shit. All these 80s, 90s horror tropes. It's all kind of crammed in here. Pretty sure this was done by, produced by Joss Whedon. Say what you will about Joss Whedon nowadays, but this is a good movie. This was okay. I mean, Chloe Grace Moretz did a decent job as Carrie, but this was like so kind of pointless. Castaway, one of Tom Hanks' best movies. Come on, Wilson, right? The fucking befriending the beach ball. Even though the trailers for this movie spoiled it, which I fucking hate. Like the first trailer spoiled this movie. Why did they do that? I don't know. Great movie though. The Change Up. Another pretty underrated comedy, I think. Wasn't great, but it was one of those ones that came out and like nobody kind of just came and went. Not a classic or anything, but I mean, if you're looking for a good ass time, Ryan Reynolds is always fucking funny. Jason Bateman is always fucking funny. The two of them together is a good Chronicle. It's basically a remake of Akira, but not really. It's good stuff. Honestly, I like it. It was like one of the earlier found footage movies back when like they were kind of making a resurgence. But this one was done actually really well. It made sense the way that this was shot, and then they used the camera in ways that a normal found footage movie would not do it because they had the superpowers that allowed it to work that way. I liked Chronicle. It's just a shame that the director got fucked so hard after when he made the Fantastic Four. This is a great set, also really expensive, so I'm glad I bought it when I did. Chucky, the complete limited edition, which comes with all up to Curse on Blu-ray. For a while, this was the only way to get them on Blu-ray. I mean, you could get Curse on Blu-ray, but for the longest time, this was the only way to get 2, 3, and Bride on Blu-ray. And Bride is one of my favorite movies. So I definitely wanted this. It's a great set. It's a great set, honestly. Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2 in 3D. That's why I have this, because it was in 3D, and it was free. Is it good? It's okay. It's funny. It's got its moments, but watching it in 3D is basically the way to watch this. Cloverfield. I fucking love Cloverfield. I have fond memories of this when it came out in theaters. I will probably talk about that in a video, because for some reason I still have not covered Cloverfield. I should probably get on that and cover the franchise, because now it's a franchise. When I bought this, it wasn't. When I went to see it in theaters, there was when I went into theaters to see this, I had no idea. This is one of the rare times where I went into a movie not knowing a fucking thing about it, and was still pleasantly surprised, even though I went in with like theories that were like really crazy. Collateral, probably one of Tom Cruise's best movies. His performance in this is great. Jamie Foxx is great in this. This is a solid movie that not many people talk about, because now Tom Cruise is most, he's Ethan Hunt. So most people just remember him for like the shitty Mummy remake and the Mission Impossible movies, but Collateral is probably one of his best movies ever. Color Out of Space. This is an interesting movie. It's basically an H.P. Lovecraft movie starring Nicolas Cage with like a crazy like not cyberpunk, but like synthwave aesthetic, like neon glow kind of shit. It's really good. It's really good, solid. Like it's like if the Thing took drugs and was on acid. I like it a lot. All right, next up, Cowboy Bebop, the movie. That's great. This is one of the best anime films ever made, I think personally. But you need to have seen the original show to really appreciate the movie. This is the steelbook that was now quite expensive. It's in plastic wrap because that's what I do with my steelbooks, because I don't want them to get scratched to shit. Especially because this one is now out of print and a little bit expensive. So yeah, you'll notice that a lot with a lot of the steelbooks that I have. I keep them in like plastic wrap just so they don't get scratched. Great movie. Great movie. It's on Netflix now, I think, because they're releasing like their live action movie series. I mean, Crank 2. I would love to see a Crank 3. I think these movies are fucking awesome. They're just stupid fun. They're not to be taken seriously in the slightest. Creed. I love Creed. And by extension, Creed 2. I love these movies so much. I love them so much. When they announced that they were going to be doing a spin-off of Rocky but also a sequel to Rocky. I was like, oh, fucking why? Don't do it. And then Creed came out, and Rocky's like one of my favorite movies of all time. So when Creed came out, I was like, holy fuck, that's really good. Like, way better than I was expecting. Like, that's like one of the best ones in the franchise. Then Creed 2 came out, and I was like, holy shit, that's also fucking good. It's like, it's a sequel to Creed, while also being a sequel to Rocky 4, while also kind of ending Rocky's story. It's fucking crazy, and they pulled it off, and it's great. I don't know what they're going to do with Creed 3. I don't understand why they're doing it, because this one kind of felt like a conclusion. I don't know what the fuck it is, like bring back Clubber Lang or some shit. Dante's Peak, another, to me, classic 90s movie. I love Dante's Peak. I have strong nostalgic connection to this movie. I think it's great. Great practical effects. One of Pierce Brosnan's best. I like it more than Volcano, but Volcano is also entertaining. The Volcano came out at like the same time, the same year. Both movies about volcanoes. I like this one better personally, but I know there's people that like Volcano more. Day of the Dead. This is my favorite of Romero's zombie movies. I fucking love Day of the Dead. This is the collector's edition from Shout Factory. It's one of those ones with like the reversible cover art, which I don't know if you can actually see it. But it's like one of those, the reverse cover art. Me personally, I just like the simplistic design of like the original poster, so I just flipped it so that it was the original poster on the case. This is a great set, great bonus features on it, solid. Like, this is the definitive way to own Day of the Dead, since Day of the Dead never got as much attention as Dawn of the Dead did, with like its big ass bonus features and like, you know, or with its big ass like ultimate edition that had like 10 discs or whatever the hell it was. Deadpool, great. There's nothing else to say about it. I don't have Deadpool 2 for some reason. I need to get it. This one means a lot to me, and I've never talked about it, and I've never talked about the show, but this is the Deadwood movie. I love Deadwood. It is my favorite show of all time. All time. It tops Breaking Bad to me, and I love Breaking Bad, but Deadwood is my favorite TV series of all time. And the movie, I was still, this was like Duke Nukem Forever to me. Like, I didn't even think this was ever going to happen, and then it was like in development hell for so fucking long. And then it finally came out, and it did not disappoint, and it was a perfect conclusion to these characters. And it felt like being right back at home, you know? Even though it was like fucking almost 20 years or something like that. Because I think the third season of Deadwood ended in like 2006. And this movie came out, what, 2 years ago? I think 2 years ago. So it was like almost two decades later. Fuck. I can't believe that this came out and didn't suck. I love this movie. This was a great conclusion. Death Note. Say what you will. I think they're okay. These are the Japanese live action movies. Only the first two. Yeah, only the first. This doesn't include L Change the World or L Save the World, whatever the hell that third one was called. Or that other one that had like the bunch of the Death Notes. Oh, fucking no, man. This franchise is so fucking confusing now. I think they're okay. Shusuke Kaneko, you know, the guy that did Gamera, that Gamera trilogy. I think they're pretty decent. They're not amazing, but they're okay for what they are. Deep Blue Sea. I fucking love this movie. Dumb. Very dumb, but I've already reviewed it. So if you want to see my genuine thoughts on Deep Blue Sea, you go see my review, look in the playlist, it's in there somewhere. I love it. This one is a metal pack. Deep Impact. I fucking hate these cases. I love Deep Impact. I like Armageddon more, but I like Deep Impact. But I fucking hate metal cases as opposed to steelbooks. And that is why this one is not in a plastic wrap. Because the second I put this on the shelf, it got scratched. The second it went on the shelf, because they're made out of like cheap aluminum as opposed to like a matte steelbook finish. This one's just like basically like rubbing a fucking aluminum can like against the wall. This one's scratched to shit already, so it's just like whatever, I don't care. Plus it was cheap. Another steelbook that I have in a book, The Departed steelbook. I love Departed, great movie. It's a remake of a Korean movie or Chinese movie. Fuck, I can't remember. I can't remember if it was Chinese or Korean movie. But great movie. Martin Scorsese. One of Leonardo DiCaprio's best roles. One of everybody's best roles that are in this movie, honestly. I love it. I think it's a great movie. Detroit. It's good. I liked it a lot. It was hard to watch. It was definitely hard to watch. It's one of those movies I saw once and I was like, well, you know what? I think I'm good. I don't know why I bought it. Because I didn't see it the first time on Blu-ray, so I don't know why I bought it. Hard to watch, though. Especially, like, The third act. And if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. Oh yeah, buddy. Die Hard. The 25th anniversary collection that comes with all 4 movies. And I'm saying all 4 movies because this one doesn't come, thank God, with Live Free. Or not, I like Live Free. What the fuck was the 5th one? A Good Day to Die Hard. It doesn't come with A Good Day to Die Hard. Thank Jesus for that. I used to have A Good Day to Die Hard. I got rid of it because I hate that movie so much that even the completionist in me was like, I don't need it. No, I'm good. I'm content just accepting that these 4 are the saga. We don't need the 5th one. We can ignore that one completely. What the fuck happened to you, Bruce Willis? Goddamn. Digimon Adventure Try. These are the reboot. Not reboot. They were a continuation of the series. It was like a 6-part movie event that kind of like concluded the story of the Digidestin from the original series. This is the all 6 in one set, which is the best way to see it. And then shortly after I bought this, all of them released on Amazon Prime. So I could have just watched them on Amazon Prime, but I'm a collector, so I'm fine just having the Blu-ray set. It's cool. District 9, great movie. Not much else to say about it. Great movie. Neil Blomkamp, great shit. I remember seeing this and then hearing for a long time that he was supposed to be doing the Halo movie, and then he never did the Halo movie, which I would have loved to have seen. Fucking Django Unchained. It's Tarantino, man. I have a lot of Tarantino movies. I don't have all of them, and I don't have some of his most famous ones. But I love Django, and I love everything Tarantino. Basically, literally every movie Tarantino has ever made, I love all of them. I don't think he's made a bad one. He's made some that are weaker than the other ones, but he's never made a bad movie, as far as I'm concerned. Dredd. 3D. Because this was like the only way to get this movie. This movie literally, this was one of those nice ones that came, the Blu-ray literally came with the 3D copy, no matter how you bought it. Pretty good 3D during the slow motion sequences. Other than that, the 3D was kind of just there, you know? It wasn't really that noticeable. But then when they went to like the 3D slow-mo shots, damn. That was some good shit. Okay, these are kind of cool. These are called Drive-In Delirium. I have the 70s and the, I think it's, yeah, 70s and, what is this, fucking 60s and 70s and 80s. These are basically just, they're just trailer Blu-rays. But they're like all the grindhouse, like, just the fucking most disgusting, goriest, just the fucking most depraved movies from back in the 80s and the 70s. And these are long, dude. Like, fuck, this one, the 80s one, has like, what is it, 110 trailers on it. And it's like 227 minutes. I still haven't even sat through this whole thing. I bought this and was like, I can review every single movie on here and have tons of content. Same goes for this one. This one, like, look at the fucking list of trailers that's on there. This one is also super long. I love these. I love stuff like this. This kind of shit, I love this kind of thing. It's just because sometimes these movies are so bad that, like, watching the trailer is all you need. It's actually thanks to James Rolfe that I bought shit like that, because he has a bunch of those in, like, his Blu-ray collection video that he talked about. And he talked about how some of those were like, you know, it gives you ideas, and a lot of these movies are pretty easy to find after you. Due Date, I don't know, it's okay. I feel like Robert Downey Jr. wasn't really trying in this one. I don't know, I kind of feel like, yeah, I don't know, I feel like he kind of phoned it in. It was kind of, I think this was like right after, I can't even remember what year this was, I think this was like 2000. Yeah, so this would have been right after Iron Man 2. So I think he was like on top of his game to the point where he was just like, you know what? I don't even need to fucking try. I'm Robert Downey Jr. for God's sake. Duel. Spielberg's first movie. I think. Yeah. I think this came before Sugarland Express. It's like, it's Jaws, but with a truck driver and a car instead of a shark and the orca. Good stuff. Honestly, for a first movie, for a TV movie, I'm pretty sure this was just a TV movie. This is fucking good. It's like, you see this, and then you're like, so that's why Spielberg is Spielberg. Dumb and Dumber. I love Dumb and Dumber, dude. This is like another peak 90s nostalgia trip for me. I fucking love Dumb and Dumber. It's one of the funniest movies of all time to me. Every time I watch this movie, I'll laugh my ass off. It's so quotable. The sequel, I don't own it. There's a reason I don't own it. The Edge. This is one of my favorite movies. I love this movie to death. I've reviewed it already, so I'm just gonna keep it short. If you want to see my thoughts on it, go check out the review. It's already on the channel. I'm just gonna call this Edge of Tomorrow because that's what it was released as. I don't give a fuck that they decided to change the title to Live, Die, Repeat. It's Edge of Tomorrow. It's the 2D one. This is one that I feel like I should probably get the 3D version of, so I probably will at some point down the road. We'll see what happens. I like it a lot. One of Tom Cruise's best movies. A lot of people don't seem to remember that this is based on a manga. All You Need Is Kill. Pretty fucking solid adaptation. Elysium. Solid cyberpunk movie. But like, I don't know. I only saw it once. And I don't remember it that well. It's decent. It was decent. But I don't remember it like blowing my mind or anything like that. There's another one of those fucking 2-disc, if you want the good one, you gotta buy the shitty one. I actually have never seen Kronk's New Groove, so I don't even know if it's any good. But I love the first one. I think Emperor's New Groove is one of my favorite Disney movies, but I don't remember. I've never seen Kronk's New Groove. It might be good. I don't know. Somebody tell me in the comments if Kronk's New Groove is actually any good, because I've never seen it. End of Watch is a fucking great movie that is very underrated. One of Jake Gyllenhaal's and Michael Pena's best performances. This is a damn good movie. Damn good movie. Nobody talked about it. It just kind of came and went. And damn, this is a great, hard to watch though. Fuck man, this is a brutal ass movie. Ernest Goes to Jail and Ernest Goes to Camp. I bought it for Ernest Goes to Jail because that was like the first Ernest movie I ever saw. This was super. I think I got this from the dollar store for like $2. So I was, I'm not gonna say no. It's Ernest, I mean, it's one of my favorite ones, and then one that's like not as good, but still pretty. Stupid. It's dumbass Ernest movies. Escaflowne, the movie. Escaflowne was the first series of anime that I got into when I first was able to differentiate between anime and cartoons. Because like I watched Pokemon. Everybody watched Pokemon, but to me, Pokemon was just a cartoon. Escaflowne was the first time I was like, this is anime. I would stay up late, like I think, at the time 11 o'clock was late because I was a little kid. But I loved Escaflowne, and this movie's hard to find now. This version of it, anyway. I mean, it got re-released by Funimation not too long ago. With I think they redubbed it with new voice actors. But this is like the original Bandai release. This is hard to find. It also has really shitty quiet audio for whatever reason. E.T., the anniversary edition, one of Spielberg's classics. I don't need to say much about E.T. The thing I love about this set, though, is that unlike fucking George Lucas, this one came with the theatrical cut and the anniversary, and the special edition that included like the deleted scenes where they added like a CGI E.T. that looks awful, and like where they like CGI'd out the fucking guns for like walkie-talkies and stuff. At least unlike Star Wars, you can actually see the original in here. You don't have to watch the special edition if you don't want to. So for that, thank you, Spielberg. Oh shit, I pulled the fucking shelf down. Man, putting these back up on the shelf is gonna be a pain in the fucking ass, bro. I just broke the shelf trying to get these damn things off. Evangelion, 1.11. This movie, when the fuck did this even come out, man? I think this was like 2007 or some shit. All I know is that it was a long time ago, man. And just now, we're finally getting 2 decades later. Or it feels like 2. Maybe it wasn't, but shit, man, I don't know. And by extension, Eva 2.22. I love Evangelion. It's one of my favorite animes. I am very excited for Thrice Upon a Time, but I'm also bittersweet that the franchise is ending. But I've been waiting for these for a long time. I'm very excited for the 4th one. I'm very glad it's finally coming out. These are fucking great movies if you haven't seen them. Everest. This is one that I am going to replace with a 3D copy of it because I want to see this in 3D. This is a great movie. I love it. I'm a sucker for like survival movies or like natural disaster type movies. And this one I went into it knowing nothing. I didn't know the true story. And then I went into this and I was like, damn, that's one of the most depressing movies I've ever seen. Evil Dead, the remake. That should have sucked but was actually really solid. Really solid remake. I've also got the Evil Dead 2, the classic. I don't have Evil Dead 1, because Evil Dead 2 is basically a remake of Evil Dead 1. I will get it at some point, I just don't know when. I mean, Evil Dead 2 is much better than Evil Dead, but the completionist in me does want Evil Dead. The Exorcist. Not much to say about it. It's classic. It's one of the greatest horror movies ever made. It's fucking horrifying. Even by like today's standards, this is a fucked up movie. Like when she's banging herself with the crucifix, watching a child, I don't even want to say it because YouTube will be like, what are you talking about, bro? And then demonetize the shit out of this video. Good. It's good. This is like that weird set where like the fucking, her eyes move and shit. I don't know. It was cheap. But when you open the Blu-ray, it's just a fucking normal Blu-ray. It just comes with like a fancy cover for whatever reason. Expendables 1, 2, and 3 in one set. I'm not a big fan of like these one set kind of like budget Blu-rays, but I don't like the Expendables movies that much, enough to warrant buying them individually. But this was like $5. I was like, you know what, whatever. I like them enough that I'll pay $5 for them. The Faculty. I love this movie. It's another one of those 90s nostalgia trips for me. Very underrated alien movie. Very underrated horror movie. I love this one a lot. This is one of Robert Rodriguez's flicks from the, I think it was, what was it, 98. For some reason I thought it was 96. It's a good movie. I like it a lot. I think it's solid. I'm going to talk about this movie one day because I really want to cover it. Fanboys. It's a good movie. It's basically about a bunch of friends that try to like show their dying friend the Phantom Menace before he passes away. Not a pleasant thing to see before you die. Fargo, great movie. Great Coen Brothers movie. Fucking hilarious. Even the series is great. I don't have the series, but this original one, very quotable, very good movie. Fast and Furious 6, another one that is in a package because it's a steelbook. It's also Fast and Furious 6, so really who gives a shit if this gets scratched because this is a dumb movie. But whatever, I like them for what they are. They're stupid. I know what they are. I mean, don't they go to like fucking space in the new one? Spoilers if you haven't seen Fast. I haven't even seen it, and I think they go to space. Whatever. Furious 7, the Walmart exclusive version, which comes with. Hell yeah, dude. That's awesome packaging. I love when they just throw a random fucking disc into like a paper, folded up paper piece of shit, and then they just like toss it in there and scrunch it up. Oh man, that's good quality stuff. Thanks, Walmart. Appreciate you. Fearless. This is one of one of Jet Li's last like martial art. I think this was his last like martial arts epic film. I mean, he's in stuff still, but I think this was like his final. That's why this movie was such a big deal, because this was like the last action or last martial arts movie that Jet Li was gonna make, and I think he stuck to it. I'm pretty sure he stuck to it. I don't remember if like Forbidden Kingdom came out after this or before this. I like it a lot. I haven't seen it in quite a while, but I like it a lot. Fight Club. It's fucking Fight Club. Everybody has seen Fight Club. If you're a movie fan, you've seen Fight Club. It's a good set. Final Destination 5, the best one in the franchise, which is crazy because it's the 5th one. This is one that I saw the 3D. This isn't the 3D version, but I have seen the 3D version. I need to get the 3D version because this is one of those movies that's like gimmicky as shit. So it's like one of those ones that's meant for 3D. The 3D version is awesome, like in a gimmicky, like shit flying at you kind of way, which is what you want for a 3D movie. So this is one that I'm probably going to replace with 3D. It's also the only one in the franchise that I have. Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within. I'm going to talk about this movie very soon. I have a lot to say about it. I will talk about it in a video at some point in the near future. Same with this one. Final Fantasy VII, Advent Children, complete. The best version of this movie, hands down. This version of the movie is so much better than the original cut that it replaces the original cut to the point where like the original cut is obsolete and pointless now compared to complete. Complete is so much better. I have owned this movie on so many formats. I think the first version of this movie I bought was on the UMD discs of like the PSP era when it first came out in like 2007. Finding Nemo 3D version. Absolutely amazing 3D movie. And it's a great movie in general. It's fucking Finding Nemo. But the 3D version, oh damn. Usually anything that has to do with underwater is like mind-blowingly good. They're usually like the best 3D. And this is no exception. This movie looks amazing in 3D. Finding Dory. Decent sequel. Not amazing. Not anywhere near as good as the original Finding Nemo. This is also not the 3D version, because if I want to get the 3D version, I have to import the son of a bitch, because Disney only releases them in the UK now for some fucking reason. Good movie. Not as good as the original. I should probably get it in 3D, maybe, I don't know. Forbidden Kingdom, I remember this one was hyped to shit when this came out, because it was like, you know, Jet Li and Jackie Chan are going to be together in a movie. I mean, it's like this. It's like an isekai, really. Yeah, I think this is like one of the earliest isekai movies, where it was like a dude from like a different timeline gets warped into like a different realm. Like, yeah, I like it. It's stupid, but I mean, what do you expect from a Jet Li and Jackie Chan joint? Friday the 13th, the remake. For some reason, this is the only Friday the 13th movie I have. I think it's probably because trying to find, or no, I have other ones. I just don't have them on Blu-ray. But it's because trying to find the Friday the 13th movies are fucking impossible, because every time the Blu-rays come out, they sell out, and then they become like fucking out of print in like a day, and then it's like $1,000 to buy it. And I'm like, no, I don't like the Friday the 13th movies enough to pay $1,000 for the Blu-ray set. Quite all right. The Frighteners, pretty underrated. Michael J. Fox, and I'm pretty sure Peter Jackson directed this. Yeah, it's Peter Jackson. I think he made this because it was like in his contract to make this in order to make King Kong, if I remember correctly. I might be fucking that up. It's pretty underrated. It's not great, but it's decent. It's a decent movie. Lots of good practical effects in it. It's like it's a practical effects movie. That is its purpose. Ghostbusters 1 and 2. They're classics. This is like the digibook version of it. They're classics. They're Ghostbusters. The original, obviously better than 2, but I like 2. I know a lot of people don't like 2, or they have an issue with 2. 2's good. It's definitely weaker than 1. It's Ghostbusters. I don't own the third one, and that's how it's gonna stay. Steelbook from Dusk Till Dawn. I fucking love this movie. I love it. I love it. It's great. The Selma Hayek scene. Yeah, buddy. It's Tarantino's writing, because I think he wrote this. Fuck, it's so good. I love it. I love this movie, and I love having the Steelbook. It's a pretty basic steelbook, though. From Up on Poppy Hill, one of the lesser known. Yeah, it was a Goro Miyazaki, so it was Hayao kid that made this. It's okay. It's decent enough, I guess. It's definitely one of the weaker Studio Ghibli movies. It's usually what happens when Goro makes a movie. They tend to be weaker than Hayao's movies, but whatever. Frozen. It's okay. Just about a bunch of friends that get trapped on a ski lift in the middle of like -40 or whatever. It's got its moments. It's dumb though. If you want to see like a full-blown review for this that is perfectly sums up the movie, check out Your Movie Sucks review for this, because he covers it pretty well. Another one of those BBC things, Frozen Planet, great. If you're gonna go with an animal documentary, anything by BBC is basically the way to go. Especially the Planet movie, the Planet series, like Blue Planet, Planet Earth, Frozen Planet, Human Planet, which I also have somewhere in here. Great series. Stunning footage. You cannot go wrong with them. The Fugitive, one of Harrison Ford's best movies. Yeah, it's pretty. It's one of those more forgotten ones people don't really talk about anymore. I mean, obviously he's known for like Indiana Jones and Solo and shit, but this is definitely one of his best movies. Fury, damn good war movie. Damn good war movie. Probably one of Shia LaBeouf's best roles, that's for sure. It's a solid movie. It's good. I don't know what else to say about it. It's good. If you haven't seen it, check it out. This one, I think I got this for like 50 cents. I haven't even watched this. It's like one of those double 2-disc Galaxy and the Critter-like monster sets. I know both these movies are garbage. 50 cents. I'll probably review them at some point. Gamera, the trilogy. This was the original release. The Mill Creek version of it. They came with the original cuts, or the original Blu-ray sets for the trilogy. I mean, they're great, except there's some fucking typos in it, and the transfers aren't the best. And there's bonus features, but like all of it's like none of it's subtitled, so it's basically just like you're watching behind the scenes like footage being shot, but you don't actually get to understand what they're talking about. So that's cool. Obviously, if you're gonna get these Blu-rays, the Arrow release is the version to get. Gangs of New York. I love this movie. Martin Scorsese. Great movie. One of Leonardo DiCaprio's more underrated films. I quite like this one a lot. Yeah, I think check it out if you haven't seen it. I think it's really good. It's basically just a gang war back in like the 1800s. I think it was the 1800s. Not the 1800s. It was like early 1910, something like that. Fuck, back in like the olden days. I don't know. I haven't seen this yet. The Gangster, the Cop, the Devil. It's a Korean movie. It stars that big dude from Train to Busan. You know, the fucking big daddy guy who like fucking hulks his way through all the zombies. I haven't seen this yet. It's probably, I imagine it's probably really good. I picked it up, I think it was like $5. So I was like, whatever, I'll give it a shot. I still haven't watched it. It's on my to-watch list. There are some movies in this collection that I have not watched yet. I will get to them someday. Fuck, man, we're only a third of the way. Generation Kill. Oh man, this is a great series. This is a HBO series from like 2005 or something like that. Covers the Iraq War, 2003 Iraq War. If you've seen Band of Brothers or The Pacific, this is... Okay, speaking of those two, by the way, before I get ahead of myself, I also have Band of Brothers and The Pacific. Both of these are on Blu-ray. They're great. They're like watching movies, basically. They're like extended movies. They're fucking amazing. But the Generation Kill is the Iraq War version of it, basically. Very good. Very good. And it's fucking hilarious in like a horrible kind of way. Like you feel like you shouldn't be laughing at some of the stuff in this movie, or in this series, but it's Ghost in the Shell, the Scarlett Johansson live action remake. I don't know. I think aesthetically it's gorgeous. And I don't think it's as bad as people make it out to be. I don't think it's that bad. It's not great, but it's not that bad. It's not a complete slap to the face. It's just kind of like a pointless remake. But aesthetically, it's gorgeous. Ghosts of the Abyss. This is James Cameron documentary about him taking Bill Paxton down to like the Titanic and filming footage. I think after they filmed Titanic. So this was like a second voyage. It's a documentary. It's stunning. Some of the 3D footage in this is fucking amazing. Because it's underwater. And it was filmed with actual 3D cameras because it's James Cameron. So, yeah, this and Titanic, the 3D version of Titanic, are great 3D great 3D. Okay, now we're getting to Godzilla. And all of you should probably know this already. I have a lot. So obviously I have the Criterion version of Godzilla. If you're going to watch Godzilla, the original Godzilla, this is the definitive version of it. There is no better Blu-ray that you could... There's no better way to watch the original Godzilla than the Criterion set. There just isn't. It's simple. Godzilla 1984. This is not 1985. A lot of people thought that this was 1985 when it came out. This is not. This is just a high-definition remaster of 1984. It is the original Japanese version of the movie, but with the international dub of that movie added onto it, and the original Japanese version of it, obviously. This is not 1985. That is a different... That is a different movie. That has shit that was added to it that is not in this version. I just want to clear that out because a lot of people were like, when I said that like my rarest movie was like Godzilla 1985 on Laserdisc, and like people were like, that came out on Blu-ray though. It never did. It never did. That did. Godzilla vs. Biollante. This is the rare version of it because you can tell by the moniker here where it says first time on Blu-ray. That stupid little tag there is the difference between like $40 for the price. Because if you try to buy this version of it, it's like out of print. This is out of print and hard to find and expensive. But if you want to get the Blu-ray that doesn't have that, it's way cheaper. This Blu-ray sucks. I mean, it's obviously it's like the only way to get Biollante on Blu-ray, but there's like fucking subtitle errors and shit in it, like like typos, and like they call like a rocket launcher like a rocket launcher and shit like that in it. It's just, I don't know. It's really half-assed Blu-ray. That's one that like definitely needs like a re-release and like a better set. This is one of many of these Toho collections that I have. This is basically like Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah, Godzilla and Mothra. This is like the only way to get the Heisei series on Blu-ray, is to get these collections. So by extension, also Godzilla vs. Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2, Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla. I have all of these. This one annoys the fuck out of me, like a lot, because Godzilla vs. Destroya and Godzilla vs. Megaguirus. Obviously, if you're a Godzilla fan, you know there's a glaring gap between these two that it shouldn't, you know? And that would be this one, because they decided that they wanted to release Godzilla 2000 on its own as a standalone Blu-ray. So, by extension, this one's all fucked up. And it just annoys the OCD in me because I can't put them like next properly on the shelf because this one doesn't have like these two don't go together. They don't go together. Giant Monsters Auto Attack, Godzilla against Mechagodzilla. And again, it's fucked up because the sequel, Tokyo SOS, is included with Final Wars. These two should be together. Shin Godzilla, probably one of my favorite Blu-rays that are of the Godzillas I have, just because like the case is black. I fucking love that. I love that the case is black. It's like so cool, like the striking red and black case. Damn, that's some good shit. This is the Funimation version of it, and I also have the Hong Kong version of it because I bought the fucking Hong Kong version because it was the only one that had English subtitles at the time, and there was no word when I bought this of Shin Godzilla getting a North American release. And then literally like 2 weeks after I bought this fucking version, this version was announced. Godzilla. The Monsterverse. I've already reviewed it. This is the Walmart exclusive version, so it came with like postcards or whatever the fuck, art cards or whatever. Literally one of the most useless bonus things you can include in a Blu-ray set. King of the Monsters. I've already reviewed it. King Kong, or Godzilla vs. King Kong, 3D. 3D's pretty decent. It's nothing to write home about. It's not great. It's not terrible. It's kind of like in between somewhere. I mean, I love the fuck out of the movie, obviously. You've seen the review. You know how my feelings are on this movie. I'm just glad that Warner Brothers is still releasing 3D Blu-rays. They're like the only ones who do. 1998. I like this movie for what it is. I don't give a fuck. I'm probably gonna like spark a fucking war just by saying that. I like 1998. It's a god-awful Godzilla movie, but it's a fucking entertaining 90s monster movie. And it's like a time capsule for me because I grew up in the 90s. So this is like peak that era, you know? It's a big nostalgic capsule for me. So I don't give a shit. I like the 1998 movie for what it is. Goosebumps. Solid movie. This is a movie I wanted so bad when I was a kid. And then it came out when I was older. And like totally outgrown Goosebumps. But I still liked it. I haven't seen the second one. I don't really want to. It looked like shit. It looked like a made-for-TV movie that they just kind of farted out into theaters because they could. Gravity, the 3D release. Probably one of the best 3D movies ever. Easily in the top 10 as far as like 3D movies go. Gravity on its own, great movie too. It's a great fucking movie. But the 3D, this is the only 3D movie I can think of where it actually had me like subconsciously like dodging shit. Like when there's like shrapnel flying at you, the 3D is so good that I was literally like, but I didn't even realize I was doing it. Not many 3D movies do that nowadays. The Green Mile. Probably one of the most depressing movies ever made. It's fucking misery. It's miserable. It's a great movie though. Damn is it ever good, but damn is it ever depressing. Gremlins. In like, I don't even know what to call this case. There was like a name for it, but I don't even remember. It's like one of these weird like magnet cases where it's like, I don't even know how to explain. I mean, I like the case, but it's weird. Like it's just weird. It's like aluminum, but like I don't know. I don't fucking know. And it like closes and like locks in place like a magnet. I don't know. It's not even the only Blu-ray I have that does that too. Gremlins 2. I fucking love Gremlins 2. I like them both. This one is definitely a very different movie. Gremlins 1 is like a classic. This one's more or less like a monster movie, like your basic 80s monster movie, but it's still fucking good. I love them both. Grindhouse. This is the definitive way to watch this. This one has it so that the movies play out in one continuous marathon, like matinee, with like the fake trailers that they filmed put in there, like actual trail. Like this is the way to do it. If you're gonna sit down and watch these movies, this Blu-ray specifically is the way to do it, instead of having them separate, because it's like one long sitting, so you actually get that original experience the way it was released in theaters. Guardians of the Galaxy. They're fucking, I don't know what it's fucking Guardians of the Galaxy 2. They're both great. They're both great. First one's way better, but I mean, they're both great. Unfortunately, both of these are the 2D versions. I don't have the 3D versions. Because once again, I would have to import them. Not Guardians 1, because that got a 3D release over here, but Guardians 2 did not. It had only got it in the UK, so it means I have to import it from the fucking... Halloween. The new one. Or, I guess, at the time. Fuck, when did this come out? Was this 2018? Shit, dude. Oh, man, why is time going by so fast? I loved it. I loved it. The Hangover. The Hangover 2. I mean, the Hangover 1 is one of my favorite comedies, but Hangover 2 is basically just the same thing, but different, kind of. And then Hangover 3 I don't even have. This, I don't even know what the fuck this is. I bought this from a pawn shop because I liked Heavenly Sword on the PS3, but I don't even know what this is. I know it's a movie, but I don't know, like, I should probably watch this because I don't even know what this is. I don't know if it's like just a movie that consists of cutscenes or if it's like an actual movie. It's got like the original cast in it, like the people that were in the game, like Alfred Molina and Anna Torv and Thomas Jane are in it, but like, I don't know. I should probably watch this because I've had this for years and I've never actually sat through it. Heat. Classic. As far as like heist movies go, it's probably the best one ever made, really, realistically. Probably one of the greatest gunfights of all time, that's for sure. It's a great movie. It's a fucking great movie. If you haven't seen Heat, you gotta see it. If you're into those kind of movies. Hobbs and Shaw. This is the only Ultra or 4K Blu-ray that I actually have. It's Hobbs and Shaw. And the only reason I have it is because I bought it on Blu-ray, and then literally an hour later I went to the pawn shop to see what they had, and this was sitting there for $5 cheaper than what I had bought the Blu-ray for. So I was like, alright, well, I'm gonna fucking buy this, and then you could just go take the Blu-ray back. Home Alone 1 and 2. As far as I'm concerned, these are the only two in the series. They never made a third, or a fourth, or a fifth. Those don't exist, as far as I'm concerned. All you need is 1 and 2. That's it. That's it. That's all you need. Horrible Bosses. I don't know, it's funny. Like, I don't know. Some of these are just like, yeah, whatever. The Host. This is one of my favorite movies, but this Blu-ray sucks because I ordered the 2-disc special edition that had bonus features and shit in it. This is what was sent to me, which is just the 1 disc, and all it has is the Korean language version of it, which obviously is the way to watch it. But the main character, the dad, in the dub is voiced by Spike Spencer, Shinji from Evangelion. I'm not 100% sure if that's confirmed, but fuck, man, it sounds exactly like him. I can't find who the dubber is for the English version, so if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but whatever, he sounds just like him. High School of the Dead. Yeah, Drifters of the Dead OVA. This is the most pointless Blu-ray ever. It's like 15 minutes long. They could have just included this in the Blu-ray set for the actual show, but instead they gave it a standalone. I mean, it's got a real nice ass cover. Hot Fuzz. Great movie, one of the Cornetto trilogy movies. Really damn good movie. My favorite is still Shaun of the Dead. But Hot Fuzz is great. It's great. Can't go wrong with it. Howl's Moving Castle. It's great. Classic Ghibli movie. Great movie. I don't think it's the best one. A lot of people think this one is the best one. I don't. But it's damn good. This is up there. Speaking of planet, Human Planet. It's basically Planet Earth and like Blue Planet and Frozen Planet, except this one, they film people. But as boring as that sounds, this is actually a really, really good series. Damn solid stuff. Really, considering they're filming people, the kind of shots in this, just damn. Probably my favorite Disney movie, The Hunchback of Notre Dame. I love this movie to death. This one also includes a sequel, which is garbage, but this was the only way to get it on Blu-ray. I love the original. Some of my favorite songs. Frollo is one of my favorite Disney villains. Hellfire is one of my favorite Disney songs. I fucking love this one. I love how dark it is. I just wish the gargoyles weren't in it. And I know that the gargoyles were in there to like kind of offset just how dark that movie actually was. But the adult in me doesn't want the gargoyles in there. The Hurt Locker, one of the best war movies ever made. Classic, great, great war movie. One of the most tense movies I've ever seen. Fucking back before he was Hawkeye. Actually, I think this came out just after, or maybe the same year. This was like one of Jeremy Renner's like big break movies. I can't remember if this came out before or after Avengers, but I'm pretty sure this was the breakout role that got him noticed as Hawkeye. I could be wrong. I'm probably wrong. I don't know. I'm just winging this shit. I don't have my phone on me right now to look. I Am Legend. Probably one of Will Smith's better movies of that era. I quite liked it. The original ending is better than the theatrical cut. Thankfully, this Blu-ray set includes that cut. I, Robot. The 3D version. Decent movie. Not great, but decent movie. Fucking garbage 3D. Absolute garbage. I don't understand why This wasn't filmed in 3D. This was post-converted. But somehow, even though it was post-converted, it's fucking garbage. I don't understand the point of it other than to, like, literally just be a cash grab. This is a shitty 3D release. Idle Hands. I love this movie. This was like one of my guilty pleasures of the 90s type movies. I'm pretty sure this was like 99. Yeah, I quite like I quite like Idle Hands. I think it's pretty good. I'm sorry the vaccine's coursing through me and it's making me real fucking tired. If you haven't seen this, it's like a perfect stoner flick. I'd check it out. The Impossible. The true story of a family that is separated during the Indian Ocean tsunami of 2004. This movie's fucking depressing, dude. This is a heavy one. Damn good, though. I remember when this is old, too. This is like 2000... Fuck, man, I don't even remember this. 2012. This has Tom Holland in it when he was younger. And I remember seeing this. This was long before Spider-Man. I remember seeing this when it first came out, and I was like, that Tom Holland kid is going to go places. I had no idea that it was going to be Spider-Man or Drake in Uncharted. I didn't think he was going to be that kid, but I remember seeing him in this. I'm like, that kid's going to go places. I just didn't think it was going to go that far. In Search of Darkness. This is a great documentary. This is a Kickstarter. I kickstarted this. It's basically a 4-hour documentary just covering like iconic 80s movies. And 80s horror movies specifically. It is fucking so good. It's so good. And I'm pissed that I didn't get to back the second one because In Search of Darkness 2 happened to do its Kickstarter right in the middle of the pandemic when I wasn't working, so I couldn't afford to do it. But damn, I'm so glad that I kickstarted this, and I cannot wait. I really hope that I'm still able to at some point get the second one on Blu-ray. They also have one In Search of Tomorrow, I think it's called, which is like 80s sci-fi movies in the same style as this. I need to get that. I think there's like another one In Search of the Last Action Hero, which is like the same idea, but action movies from the day. I don't know. I need to see it. That's a great documentary if you haven't seen it. Independence Day. Stupid, iconic movie of the 90s. Say what you will about it. It's dumb. But everybody knows Independence Day, and when this came out in the 90s, it was a big fucking deal. This was a huge movie back then. The sequel sucks my left nut. Specifically my left nut. I don't have it. For good reason. It's garbage. I don't like it at all. But this one, damn good. Damn good, like, guilty pleasure type of movie. Nothing you can take seriously, that's for fucking sure. Inception. Everybody's seen it. This was a huge deal when it came out. For good reason. It was a great movie. It is still a great movie. The Incredibles 2. Not the 3D version. I wish it was. And for some reason I don't have the first Incredibles. Iron Man 3 in 3D. Pretty solid 3D. Say what you will about Iron Man 3. It's okay. It's pretty good. It's decent. I don't like what they did with The Mandalorian, or not The Mandalorian, The Mandarin. But, I mean, now that Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Seven Rings, or 10 Rings, or whatever the fuck it's called, actually has the real Mandarin in it, we can kind of excuse this movie's switcheroo that it did. Iron Man isn't actually in the suit for most of the movie. Pretty solid 3D, especially the scene where they skydive from the plane. That looks amazing in 3D. Also, another 3D movie, Inside Out. Great Pixar movie. This is one of Pixar's best movies, easily. 3D looks amazing. It's a Pixar movie. All their 3D looks amazing. So most cartoons tend to look amazing, especially CGI cartoons like this, because all they really have to do is go into the computer and put another camera next to the virtual one that they already have. And boom, there you go. You got it in 3D. Interstellar. Fucking great movie. Really great. And this is another one of those ones that's like comes in like one of those metal aluminum case thingamajiggers, sort of like the way Gremlins thing was laid out. Because I was always pronouncing them IP Man. It's Ip Man, not IP Man. But, you know, these came out when I worked in the video store, and I always used to call them. I was like, have you guys seen IP Man? When people would come to me for recommendations, I'm like, check out IP Man. These movies are fucking great. It's Ip Man. Donnie Yen. It's fucking Donnie Yen. He's like up there with like Jet Li and Jackie Chan. One of my favorite movies of all time, The Iron Giant. I am so happy that this finally got a Blu-ray release. For the longest time it didn't. It was just like relegated to DVD. And it includes some stuff that was just left out. Like they actually like animated deleted scenes that were never done. Like storyboarded scenes that were never finished. And they actually animated it and threw it in here, and it feels right at home. I mean, if you've seen the movie enough times like I have, you can definitely tell. You can see the difference, but it's so subtle that anybody who just hasn't seen this movie that many times would see the new sequences and like not even be able to tell that it wasn't animated, like they're recent animations and not like wasn't done at the same time in this movie. The fact that they were able to put those in here, and I think it benefits from at least the Giant's dream sequence. I think it benefits the movie by being in here. It's not like one of those scenes that like doesn't need to be in there. Just kind of feels added on. I think it's a scene that genuinely amplifies the Giant character. Shows you a little bit of his past and more of what he actually truly is. It Follows is one of my favorite horror movies. I fucking love It Follows. This is a great, great movie. Very slow burn. It's not for everybody. I tried showing this to my parents and they're like, this movie sucks. I was like, how dare you. Really creepy moments in It Follows. I quite liked it a lot. It. The original Tim Curry It. Fucking not good. And I know there's people that are like, this is the best It. This is so much better than the remake. It's not. You guys have nostalgia goggles for the fact that Tim Curry was a great Pennywise. This series itself sucks. It is not good. It is dated. It is not aged well at all. Not at all. Tim Curry, solid performance as Pennywise. He's good. He's good in it. But the series itself, you take those glasses off, those nostalgia goggles, it's fucking garbage. It's really not good. It has not aged well. And this is just like The Exorcist, where like it has like the weird like holographic cover, but then the original, you know. I will say that the section with the kids is a little bit more tolerable than the shit with the adults in this, but this is definitely not great. And hey man, you could disagree with me, that's fine, I don't care. I don't like that much. But on the topic of It 1 and 2, the remakes, I fucking love these movies. These are great. These are fucking great. Even though I think It Chapter 2 was a little pretentious with its runtime. It felt like it was trying to be like the end game of like horror movies. But I love it. I think Bill Skarsgård is the best Pennywise. Easily, hands down. I think he nails it out of the park. Tim Curry's entertaining in like a comedic kind of way. In like a goofy sort of, you know. But like Bill Skarsgård is genuinely creepy. I think he fucking nailed this role. He was made for it. I heard rumors that they're making a third one. I really don't want them to. The only way I would like to see a third one done is if they go back and show like the first appearance of Pennywise. If they're gonna do it that way. Don't try to make like a sequel to the book. Jarhead, another one of my favorite movies. As far as war movies go, this is one of my favorites. I love Jarhead. It's hilarious. It's dark. It's depressing. It's like everything all mixed together. It's like Generation Kill, and that it's like shit that you probably shouldn't be laughing at, but it's hilarious. This is one of Jake Gyllenhaal's best movies, I think, hands down. This is one of my favorite war movies. I hate what they did with the franchise. I hate that there's 3 sequels and all of them are like generic ass, like straight to DVD war movies, and they have nothing to do with like the actual original, where it was like a commentary on like how crappy being a soldier actually is. My favorite movie of all time. Anybody who's been at the channel for a long time knows that. Jaws is my favorite movie of all time. Always has been, always will be, since I was like 5. It's best. Best. Everybody's got their own opinion, but Jaws is my favorite movie of all time. When this came to Blu-ray, I shit myself. I was so fucking excited to have it on Blu-ray. The transfer for this Blu-ray, and I know there's a 4K one out now, and I haven't seen the 4K because I don't have a 4K player, so I couldn't even take advantage of it, even if I wanted to. But the transfer for this Blu-ray is so good that it looks like it was filmed today. It wasn't. It was filmed in 1974 and released in 75. This is a gorgeous transfer. Like, this is what happens when a director actually, like, you know, loves what they've done and they actually want to like supervise the process of like the transfer, because some Blu-rays are just fucking pointless. They're just upscaled slightly, but this looks like a new movie. It's gorgeous. And on the topic of Jaws 2, decent sequel. It's the only decent sequel. As you can see, this is the French or the Canadian version. Thus it says Les Dents de la Mer 2 Party, which I'm pretty sure means Teeth of the Sea. I don't know. I'm not French. I don't fucking know. I just have to deal with it because it's in my country. But I do love that the Blu-rays did the original box art. I bought this because I wanted Jaws 3 on Blu-ray, because Jaws 3 on Blu-ray includes the 3D version of the movie, but they don't advertise that it does. However, to buy the 3D version of Jaws, or to buy Jaws 3D standalone, it was like $20. But to buy this fucking thing, which also includes 2, 3, and 4, it was like 10. So thus, I had to buy Jaws the Revenge and another copy of Jaws 2 to get a cheaper version of Jaws 3. That being said, Jaws 3 in 3D, like if you can actually see it in 3D the way it was made, the way it was meant to be seen, way better movie. Way better movie. It's still a shitty movie. Jaws 3 still sucks, but it's way better. Like, you get the pop-outs, you get like the 3D in that movie, you get that shit. It's flying at you. Like, that stuff's like that close to your face. Like, it's crazy how good the 3D is on like an actual, when you can actually witness it in 3D. Jaws 4 still sucks. Jaws 4 still a piece of shit. Jean-Claude Van Damme, or JCVD. It's basically just Jean-Claude Van Damme like reminiscing about his life and how, you know, everybody expects things of him. I don't know. It's decent. It's not like a 80s Jean-Claude Van Damme movie though. Jeepers Creepers, really good first half. The first half of this movie is genuinely creepy, and then it kind of gets kind of crappy. It's not crappy. It's just it's not as creepy. I don't have Jeepers Creepers 2. I want to get it because I really like Jeepers Creepers 2. Jeepers Creepers 3 can suck it. That movie sucks balls. So to you guys, that was things have been going continuous. To me, different shirt, new day. This is day 2. Just get on with it. John Wick 2. Some of the best action movies in recent memory. I don't have John Wick 3. I'm working on it. Jojo Rabbit. Probably one of Taika Waititi's best movies. I love this movie. It's depressing. It's hilarious. It's just everything cute. This is one of his best, easily. Doesn't need an introduction. It's a Jurassic Park trilogy box set. The only problem is because of a sticker that Walmart stuck on it. There's like now residue on the case, which is just dandy. I love it. Jurassic World 3D. The reason that it looks like this is because I have the collector's edition that came with like the 2 figures. But I obviously couldn't fit the giant box that was like this big on the shelf. So I have this just sitting on the shelf. It looks weird, but whatever. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Obviously not as good as the first Jurassic World. I'll review it someday, probably before Dominion comes out. Kick-Ass. I fucking love this movie so much. I loved it when it came out. It was great. Second one's okay. Second one's got its moments, but the second one's definitely not as good as the first one. King Kong, the original. The documentary on here, the 8-part documentary, is worth the price of this Blu-ray alone, even though this Blu-ray really isn't that expensive. But this is a great movie. I've already reviewed it. You guys know what my feelings are on it. King Kong, the Ultimate Edition. This is obviously the version that has the extended scenes in it. So it's like, it's like 20 minutes longer than the original cut. Plus this one has bonus features. This is the version to get if you're going to buy this on Blu-ray. Kong Skull Island in the Warner Brothers new packaging type thing that they did. Even though the case is, it's just a slip cover that they put the fancy stuff on. Great movie. I still have to review it. Kubo and the Two Strings, the 3D version. I think this is probably one of the most underrated animated films that has come out in a long time. Barely anybody saw this. It flopped. It shouldn't have. It's a fucking great movie. I would consider this to be one of my favorite animated movies of all time, I think. 3D looks amazing. Great movie, but nobody watched it. Kung Fu Hustle, classic. Stephen Chow, one of the best martial arts movies ever. Hilarious, ridiculously over the top. It's great. It's great. I don't know what else to say, but if you haven't seen it, check it out. Last Samurai, another example of an isekai. I love The Last Samurai. I get that people are like, it's whitewashing. Yeah, but I love it. Because sure, I mean, the main character's a white dude, but it's about a white guy learning the culture. It's not about like, I mean, he's the hero, but it's about a white dude learning the Japanese. This is a great movie. I love this movie. The Last Stand, Schwarzenegger and what's his name? Johnny Knoxville. This one's kind of just whatever. It's just like a Schwarzenegger like has a battle with like a criminal convict in like a small town. It's kind of like an over the top Rambo if Rambo was like a Hollywood blockbuster type movie. The Lego Movie 3D version. This was also included in like a collector's edition, but the collector's edition was big and hulky and took up way too much space on the shelf. So I disposed of it and just kept the 3D disc. It's a great movie. I don't have the second one. Actually, I haven't even seen the second movie yet. Lethal Weapon. Damn good stuff. Damn good stuff. Peak 80s buddy cop. I love it. And, by extension, Lethal Weapon 2. I don't have Lethal Weapon 3 or 4. I mean, who cares? 4 is not very good. But I should probably get 3 because I like Danny DeVito's in the third one. Letters from Iwo Jima, probably one of the best war movies ever made. Probably in my top 10 war films. Great, great movie. If you've seen Flags of Our Fathers, they're both directed by Clint Eastwood. This is the Japanese point of view of the Battle of Iwo Jima. This is the better movie. This one is far better than Flags of Our Fathers. Ken Watanabe. Chef's kiss. A Letter to Momo. Really good. Probably one of the best Studio Ghibli movies that isn't a Studio Ghibli movie. This is not done by Studio Ghibli. This is done by Production IG. But it feels and looks very similar to a Studio Ghibli movie. This is a really good, solid flick. Life. Another one of those BBC nature documentaries that just has mind-blowing cinematography, and it's just as good as like Planet Earth and all that stuff. Life. I think I like it. I mean, it's basically The Thing, but like not quite The Thing. Life of Pi, the 3D version. Probably one of the best 3D experiences you can have next to like Avatar. Great movie. Genuinely great, great movie. Stunning 3D. Probably the best CGI tiger I've ever seen in my entire life, that's for sure. Lilo and Stitch 2. Or Lilo and Stitch. And it just happens to include 1 and 2. But the thing with this one is that Lilo and Stitch 2 is really not that bad, actually. It's one of the few straight-to-DVD sequels that aren't complete shit. I mean, it doesn't hold a candle to the first Lilo and Stitch, but the second one isn't really that bad. Little Shop of Horrors Director's Cut. This is one of my favorite films of all time. Easily my favorite musical of all time, that's for damn sure. Lone Survivor. Great. Anything by Paul, what was his name? Damn it. He directed Deepwater Horizon and Patriots Day. I can't remember his damn name. He's a great director, though. This is a really good movie. Looper. Probably like one of the quintessential time travel movies. I mean, if you're into this is like one of the last movies where Bruce Willis actually tried. This is a great one. Lupin the Third, the First, which is a horrible title, but it's a Lupin movie. This is the steelbook because I just thought it was fucking gorgeous. Like, that is a beautiful, beautiful steelbook, which is probably not going to show up on the camera. That's a beautiful steelbook. I love it. It's a really good movie. Completely CGI. Some of the best CGI animated movie. It looks like Pixar quality, honestly. Very underrated. It just kind of came and went. I know it was a big deal in Japan, but over here, not so much. Mad Max. The collector's edition from Shout Factory. Or Shout Factory. Scream Factory, I'm sorry. Good movie. Not the best one in the franchise, but it's solid. It's solid stuff. I like it. It's definitely hard to go back to it after watching Fury Road, but you know. The Road Warrior. This is the better version. There's actually 2 versions of this movie that were released on Blu-ray. They have very similar looking covers, except the one cover is slightly darker, and that's the shittier transfer. But like this, if you can find the lighter covered version, which is dumb, it has the better transfer. It's the exact same movie. Like both discs are the same. This one just happens to have a better transfer for some goddamn reason. Beyond Thunderdome. I mean, it's the shittiest one in the series. Maybe I'll review it someday. I gotta cover the Mad Max movies someday, but yeah, I don't have very strong feelings on Thunderdome. However, Mad Max Fury Road, the steelbook that was Best Buy exclusive, one of my favorite movies of all time. As far as like action movies go, this is like basically one of the best. They do not make movies like this anymore. They just don't. Like 90% of this movie was practical. Most of it was not CGI. There was so little CGI in it that like when they did use CGI, I didn't even know what was CGI. Masterpiece. Masterpiece and just balls to the wall action. I cannot wait for Furiosa. Madagascar 2. Madagascar 3. I don't have the first one. I have the third one in 3D. Very good 3D. Decent movies. They're Madagascar. I don't know. They're dumb. Maggie. Probably one of Schwarzenegger's most underrated movies. He actually gave like a genuinely good performance in this. If you haven't seen this, it's basically about him trying to live with the fact that his daughter is infected with a virus that's turning her into a zombie slowly, and he's like a single father trying to deal with this. It's a genuinely really good movie, and it shows that Schwarzenegger can act. Mama. I'm pretty sure this was directed by the guy, Andy Muschietti, the guy that went on to direct It. This is a really solid movie. There's some genuinely freaky shit in this movie. The Martian. Great movie. Great Matt Damon movie. I think this is in 3D. I don't know. I kind of want to get the 3D version of it. If it is, I'm not 100% sure, but I love this. I thought this was a great movie. Dude gets trapped on Mars. I mean, I haven't read the book, though. This is one of Jim Carrey's best. True classic. 90s classic. It's dumb. It's far more adult than I should have probably been watching at the time that it came out, but it's hilarious. One of Jim Carrey's top 10. Another one of those really disgusting, gross bundle packs that I fucking hate so much, but the thing is, I love Matrix 1 and Animatrix is really good. Matrix Reloaded and Revolutions are kind of just, I mean, I know they're decent, but they don't hold a candle to the first one. And I didn't want to buy like the fucking big $100 whatever collector's edition Blu-ray that they had, so I figured, whatever. I don't have any of them, so I'll just get this bundle. It comes with all the bonus features. All the discs in here are the standard discs, so they have all the bonus features. It was just super cheaper. So in this case, this is one of the few times where I would prefer this over the collector's edition. The only thing I hate is that they stack them on top of each other, which is something you can only do with Blu-rays, but I still hate it when they do that. Me, Myself, and Irene, one of the last good Jim Carrey comedies of like this generation. I think like around the time like Yes Man and like Fun with Dick and Jane came out, that was basically kind of when he stopped giving a crap. This was one of the last 90s movies that, or 2000, 2000, so I'm just gonna, whatever. One of the last Jim Carrey movies. Probably one of the weaker ones, but it's still funny. Meg, I want to replace this with the 3D one, because I've heard the 3D one is pretty decent. Obviously, it's an underwater movie, which means it's going to have great 3D. I love this movie. I think it's stupid as fuck, but they knew what they were doing with it. It's a big, dumb shark movie. This delivered on everything I wanted it to. I remember when I went to go see this in the theater, I was like, all I need is Jason Statham fighting a giant shark. That is exactly what I got. Memories of Murder by Bong Joon-ho, the director of Parasite. This is probably one of the best, not only one of the best South Korean movies of all time, but one of the best crime thrillers of all time. This is based on a true story. This is based on South Korea's equivalent of the Zodiac Killer. This movie is haunting and just, it's funny in parts that it shouldn't be. It's disturbing. It's very well done. I will sing this movie's praises. I love Memories of Murder. I'm so glad that Criterion finally brought it over here on Blu-ray, because for a long time trying to get this on Blu-ray was impossible, because it was just a crappy release. It was out of print. It was like $100. This, if you can get it, if you're a fan at all of crime movies or of South Korean cinema, check out Memories of Murder. Seriously, this is like a 10 out of 10 movie. Men in Black, another peak 90s movie. Love it. Love Men in Black. Don't like Men in Black 2 so much. I don't have it. But I have Men in Black 3, which I also don't like too much. But it's the 3D one, and I got it for free. That is why I have it. The completionist in me kind of wants to get Men in Black 2, but I don't like Men in Black 2 all that much. This one I'm just going to go out and all in with just one. Fucking Mission Impossible 2, 3, Ghost Protocol. Or not Ghost, yeah, Ghost Protocol. Mission Impossibles, they're good. They're all great. 2 is the stupidest of them all, but 2 is still pretty fun for what it is. I don't have 5 or 6. Or fuck, 7? How many are... Damn, was Fallout number 7? Or is that 6? Shit, man, I don't even know anymore. Monsters, Inc., the 3D cut. Great 3D. It's a Pixar movie. Any Pixar movie has great 3D. Oh, hell yeah, dude. Mortal fucking Kombat. This is peak 90s in like a bad kind of way. Actually, I don't know. This movie's kind of a mixed bag for me. I'm nostalgic towards it, but it's definitely not very great. The new one was definitely better from like a movie standpoint. This one obviously has the better theme song, and I have, just so you know, I do have Annihilation, but I don't have it on Blu-ray. I would never buy that travesty on Blu-ray. My Neighbor Totoro, one of the classic Studio Ghibli movies. Very childish. Definitely their more childish one, but still solid. Good early Ghibli movie. Mystery Men. This is one that was pretty underrated, I think, when it came out. It's definitely not a masterpiece, but I think it was ahead of its time when it came out. Because it is... I mean, it's basically like Kick-Ass. But, like, when did this come out? 98 or 99? Yeah, this was, like, one that kind of came out and was a decent deal back in 99, and then it just kind of disappeared into the nothing. I would recommend it. If you saw this when you were younger and didn't like it, I would recommend giving it another watch as an adult, or, you know, with a newer mindset, because it actually is a better movie than you remember it being. Neighbors, pretty funny. Nothing really to talk about. It's funny. I don't know. The Nice Guys, Shane Black, one of his funniest movies. This movie's fucking hilarious. But again, nobody saw it. It was like another one of those ones that just kind of came and went. This is genuinely one of the funniest comedies, buddy cop movies that has come out in a while, but nobody saw it. So if you haven't seen The Nice Guys, check it out. It's really, really good. Nightcrawler, probably one of Jake Gyllenhaal's best performances. I mean, he was nominated for a fucking Oscar for it, wasn't he? He didn't win, but he was nominated for an Academy Award for this role, I think. So, yeah, I mean, enough said. It's a great movie. Nightmare on Elm Street Collection. This comes with 1 through New Nightmare. This doesn't include the remake, and it doesn't include Freddy vs. Jason, which is a damn shame. Why is it that, like, none of these box sets for, like, either Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street include Freddy vs. Jason? Why? It's just dumb. It's a good set. I mean, it's a mixed bag as far as the movies go. Obviously, the first one and the third one are the best ones. And then New Nightmare, by extension, is probably the third best one out of these older ones. I'll review them someday. For some fucking reason I haven't. I don't know why. Oblivion Island and Haruka and the Magic Mirror. This one's funny because... like, it's a CGI animated anime movie from Japan, but on the back, it's got, like, that Christian family, I don't know if you can see that, but it's got, like, that Christian family Dove approval thing that basically it's like, it's good for little kids. It's basically for the whole family. But there's a lot of panty shots in this movie. It's also rated G, but there's panty shots in this. And it's also pretty dark near the end. Yet, for some reason, I just find it funny that it's like, it's got typical anime tropes, but for some reason they got the Christian family values thing plastered on the back of it. Like, it's totally fine. More Tarantino. Great, great movie. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I love it. Which is kind of annoying when you put it on the shelf. But overall, very solid movie. I'm glad Tarantino's making another one. I mean, if he had ended on that, it probably still would have been a good way to go out. But he's making a 10th movie, so whatever. The Other Guys, one of the few Will Ferrell movies that I actually think is hilarious. I'm not that big of a fan of Will Ferrell. I don't think he's that funny, but when you put him together in this one with Mark Wahlberg, this movie is actually hilarious. Pacific Rim in 3D. Probably one of the top 5 3D experiences that you can have at home. The sense of scale, because this is like one of those ones where Guillermo del Toro actually, like, supervised the 3D. Like, he didn't just, like, it wasn't filmed in 3D, but he supervised the post-conversion. So there's, like, a sense of scale in this that you do not get in, like, this is like one of those movies where 3D is basically the best way to watch it, in my personal opinion. Because you get the Jaegers and the Kaiju look so much bigger. Same goes for this one, really. I mean, yeah, Pacific Rim Uprising is not great. Watching it the second time, I liked it better than I saw it the first time because I knew what I was getting into. Again, 3D is solid in it. It's not as good as the original Pacific Rim because this one wasn't supervised by Guillermo. Paprika from Satoshi Kon, one of the best anime directors ever. It's a fucking shame that we lost him as young as we did. I think he was only in his 40s or something like that when he died. But he left behind one hell of a legacy. Paprika's one of them. Huge. This influenced so much. Like, Inception is basically like a remake of this. Patriots Day, the true story of the manhunt for the 2 idiots that set off the bombs at the Boston Marathon. Very good movie. What's his Peter Berg, is that his name? Peter Berg, yeah. He directed Lone Survivor, this, Deepwater Horizon. Very good movie. Solid. I love these Peter Berg is really good when it comes to, like, true story movies. This is another one of those metal packs that, again, isn't in a case or isn't in a package because it was a metal pack and it scratched the second I opened it. Harrison Ford, Patriots Day, or Patriot Games, I mean. Tom Clancy, right? I mean, he's Jack Ryan. This is one of the, Sum of All Fears, Jack Ryan saga. Good movie, Harrison Ford. Peak Harrison Ford stuff. Another one of his more underrated ones. Again, I hate the metal pack. I cannot stand the metal packs. Planet Earth. Again, like I've said already multiple times, any of the BBC documentaries, stunning Stunning visuals. Planet Earth is no exception. This was one of the first. Pearl Harbor. Really good attack sequence. Like, the actual bombing of Pearl Harbor is great. And that's about the only part of this movie that's good. I only have it because I found it for cheap. This is one of my favorite anime films of all time. Perfect Blue, another one by Satoshi Kon, one of his best. This one I feel has more relevance today than it did back when it came out, with like the era of YouTube and stuff like that. This one inspired a lot of movies too. This one influenced a ton. It's basically about a pop idol that wants to become an actress, and then like the mental toll that takes on her while also being stalked by an obsessive fan. This is a really good movie. It's like an animated Hitchcock film. If you haven't seen this, check it out. It's one of the best. I'm so glad it came to Blu-ray. Persona 4, the animation, part 1 and part 2. I love Persona 4. It's one of my favorite games of all time. The anime, by extension, is also really good because it basically just sums up the entire game. It has all the voice actors from the games. They all came back for it. It's good. It's good. I mean, obviously, if you haven't played Persona 4, you're probably not going to get as much out of this because this is definitely made from the viewpoint of like somebody who's a fan already. It's kind of like Persona 5 animation, where it was like, you know, if you've played the game, this is basically like something to add on to it. It's not a replacement for it. Persona 4, the game, you should still play the game before watching the anime, but the anime is very good. Pineapple Express, peak stoner film. I don't know what else to say about it. Oh, good. Here we're getting into the... This one actually isn't that bad. I gotta review this. Piranha. I want to get the 3D cut because I feel like this is one of those 3D movies that would have like a lot of gimmicky stuff in it. You know, who doesn't want to see a CGI half chewed up dick flying at their face? I know I do. By extension, I do have the 3D version of Double D, or 3 Double D. This movie's garbage. I have not watched the 3D version of it yet. Maybe I should, just to see if it like amplifies it a bit, because this movie sucked. The first time I saw this, I was like, oh my god, this is fucking garbage. Again, it was free, so that's the only reason I have it. So I might give it a watch in 3D just to see if it makes it better, kind of like Jaws 3 was better in 3D. Pirates of the Caribbean, fucking great. Dead Man's Chest, also great. I also really like World's End, but for some reason I don't have it. I don't like the rest of them. Those 3 are the best ones. I feel like it should have ended after 3. I don't think we needed, 3 more after? I don't even know how many there are anymore. I remember I went to go see On Stranger Tides in theaters, and I was so disappointed by that. Especially because Ian McShane was Blackbeard, and I love Ian McShane. He's like one of my favorite actors, but then it felt so lackluster in comparison to World's End, because World's End had one of the most epic final battles I've ever seen on screen, ever. And then On Stranger Tides just felt like going back to like Black Pearl. Pokemon, the Indigo League. This is just season 1 on Blu-ray. It's very bare bones. Very bare bones. And it's also missing some of the fucking episodes too. Like the DVD set for this has the episodes that this one is missing. I don't understand why Viz does this. Viz Media does this specifically. Also, Pokemon 1, 2, and 3. Decent transfers, but this is the Steelbook, so it's why it's in a case. Decent transfers, but this Blu-ray is bare bones and it's missing the shorts. So it doesn't have Pikachu's Vacation. It doesn't have Pokemon to the Rescue. It doesn't have any of those short Pikachu shorts that they showed in theaters. The DVD set does have that. The Blu-ray, for some fucking reason, doesn't. So even though I got the Blu-ray, I couldn't get rid of my DVDs because the DVDs have all that shit. And the DVDs are rare and out of print and hard to find now. So it's like kind of unfair, really, because it's like, I mean, they're on YouTube, obviously, but like, I don't know. It's just, I feel like it was meant to be seen with the shorts before it, kind of like the way I saw it in theaters. Poltergeist, one of the best ghost movies ever made. Classic 80s. Great stuff, great practical effects. Phenomenal movie. Don't have the rest of them. The Predator collection, this includes 1, 2, and Predators. I like them. I like them. Predator 1 is obviously the best one. Predators 2 isn't that bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. Predator 2 gets a bad rap. I like Predator 2. Predator 2 was actually the first one I saw when I was a kid. I want to get the 3D Predator because I've heard it's decent, but you know, it's hard to find now. The only problem with this is that when I bought it, it gave me a broken case, and now it like doesn't close properly. So that's fucking sweet. This is probably the best Princess Mononoke, probably one of the best Studio Ghibli movies ever made. It's gorgeous, stunningly animated, beautiful, beautiful movie. I don't know what else to say about it. It's gorgeous. It's genuinely stunning. This is probably like in the top 2, next to like maybe Spirited Away. Actually, I think I might like this more than Spirited Away. I don't know. It's kind of like a cross-up between the two as far as like Ghibli movies go. Prisoners. Hugh Jackman's best performance. I don't give a shit, Wolverine fans. Come at me. This is his best performance. This movie is amazing. Hard to watch, but amazing. Everybody in this movie gives like a damn good performance. And this is another one of those underrated movies. Also, it's directed by Denis Villeneuve. Is it Denis Villeneuve, I think. The director of Blade Runner 2049 and the upcoming, and Arrival. He did Arrival and the upcoming Dune. This was, so you know it's going to be good. This is a great, great movie. Psycho. I don't really need to say much about it. If you haven't seen Psycho, you're missing out. One of the best slasher movies ever made. My favorite Hitchcock movie. Great steelbook. This is a really good, really nice, simplistic steelbook design. I like this a lot. Great bonus features on it. It's Psycho. Now, Raging Bull. One of De Niro's best performances. Great movie if you haven't seen it. Another Martin Scorsese flick. It's amazing. The true story of Jake LaMotta and his downfall from grace after being one of the best boxers at the time. Check it out. If you haven't, I feel like everybody's seen Raging Bull. The Raid Redemption, one of the greatest action movies ever made, ever put to film. This is like quintessential action. If you want something that's not too heavy on plot, this is basically it. It's basically 90 minutes, literally. It even tells you on the front, 90 minutes of non-stop carnage. It's basically about a bunch of SWAT team members that go into a building full of criminals, and then they have to fight their way through it. It's great. It's very simple. It's very, very fun. And then by extension, Raid 2, which also has great it's not as good as the first one. This one definitely is a lot more epic. Where the first one is a very simple action movie, kind of like in the vein of like Mad Max Fury Road. This one feels like Godfather, where this one has like great action, but there's also like a lot of crime drama, crime family stuff in it. So this is the better plot movie out of the two, but the Raid 1 is the better action movie. First Blood, classic. Rambo 2, with a stupid title. I don't know why they called it Rambo First Blood Part 2 and not just Rambo 2. Rambo 3. Rambo 4, the director's extended cut. And just like Die Hard, I don't have Rambo Last Blood because I don't want to acknowledge that that movie fucking exists because it's a piece of shit. I fucking hated Rambo 5. I hated Rambo 5. So, Rampage. Probably one of the best video game movies ever made. A lot of people don't even realize that it is based on a video game. It is. I want to get this one in 3D. Very fun. Very stupid, but very fun. It had no right being as entertaining as it was going to be, but it's good. I haven't reviewed it yet. I probably should. Real Steel, another one that I remember when this came out, I was like, this is a piece of shit. I don't want to watch this. This looks dumb. And then later on, I got this like a couple months ago. And I was just like, you know what, whatever. It was like $2. So I was like, fuck it, I'll pick it up. I'll give it a watch. It's solid. It's solid. It's like Rocky with robots. I honestly thought it was pretty good. I mean, it is what it is. It's a boxing movie with robots. It's Rock'em Sock'em Robots, the movie, essentially. Oh, God, here we go. Resident Evil. This is the only tolerable one out of the live-action series. Not great. The only tolerable one. I have Apocalypse. I hate Apocalypse, but like I have a fond nostalgic connection to Apocalypse because it meant a lot to me at the time that it came out. But I don't like Apocalypse very much. I don't know. It's like I don't know how to explain my relationship with Apocalypse. Degeneration, far better than the live action ones. Still fucking dumb, but far better than these ones. I remember when this was announced, I was like, thank you. Decent stuff. At least this one's canon. Same with this one. Resident Evil Damnation, also canon. Stupid, but canon. I mean, this one's available in 3D, but only in Japan. I don't know why we didn't get it. Vendetta, another one of the live action or the CGI ones. Didn't like it much the first time I saw it. Watched it again, liked it better the second time because I knew what I was getting into when I went into it. Yeah, I mean, they are what they are. I prefer them over the live action ones, but they're still not masterpieces. Another one of the Toho Godzilla collection, even though this isn't a Godzilla movie, so I don't know why it's part of the Toho Godzilla collection. Mothra 1, 2, and 3, the Rebirth era of Mothra. Yeah, I don't know why these are part of the Godzilla collection, even though they're not Godzilla movies. This is probably my favorite Quentin Tarantino movie. I love Reservoir Dogs. I love this movie to death. Very simple plot, very simple premise that I think only Tarantino could have pulled off. And for a first movie, this was his first fucking movie. Keep that in mind. I mean, I think he wrote True Romance before this, but this was his first, like, actual movie. Quite the first movie. Return of the Living Dead. Probably one of my favorite 80s movies of all time. One of my favorite zombie movies of all time. It's just fun. This is like, to me, as I've already said in the review for it, this is peak Halloween. Like, everybody treats Rocky Horror Picture Show like that's like the quintessential Halloween movie. This is The Revenant. I fucking love it. One of DiCaprio's best performances. Should it have been the one that he won the Oscar for? I don't think so. I think he's done better performances, but this is still really damn good. Very solid movie. Gorgeous cinematography. Rise of the Planet of the Apes. I remember when this came out, I was thinking, whatever, it's gonna be a dumb ape movie. And then I went and saw it and I was like, holy fuck, this is really good. Like, this is way better than it had any right to be. I don't have the rest of the trilogy. I need to get them. I want to get the 3D versions of them, which is why I'm waiting. Really good. The whole thing is solid. It ended. This is like a really solid trilogy from start to finish. I just don't have the other two because I want to get 3D cuts of them. Probably one of the best apocalypse movies ever made, but also one of the saddest apocalypse movies ever made. This one's a fucking downer. Don't watch this unless you want to be in a horrible mood when it's over. The Road to El Dorado. I shit myself when they finally announced that this was coming to Blu-ray. This is one of the most underrated animated movies of the 90s. I love it. I love it. It's so funny and way more adult than it should be. Check this out if you haven't seen it. I'm gonna review it someday. It's another one that's been on the to-do list, but it's very underrated classic in my opinion. Oh yeah, I mean, Rocky, one of my favorite movies of all time. This is the heavyweight collection, so it has Rocky 1 to 5 in it. 5, meh. I like the rest of them. 5 is just kind of bleh. Oh, this also has 6. Yeah, so this has 1 to 6 in it. Great, this is a great set, honestly. This is a really good set. Really cheap, too, for the amount of stuff that you're getting in it. So if you like Rocky, I would recommend just trying to get your hands on the heavyweight set, because it's got everything in it. Saving Private Ryan. It's Spielberg at his best. Yeah, I mean, everybody's seen it. Speaking of Spielberg at his best, Schindler's List, the 20th anniversary edition. This, not a feel-good movie, that's for damn sure. I mean, it's one of his best films, and the fact that he made this the same year he did Jurassic Park, think about that. Spielberg directed this and Jurassic Park the same year. That's why he's Spielberg. Probably the definitive version of this movie, but fuck, man, is it ever. Goddamn, I've watched it a couple times. I was like, I don't think I want to do this again. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, probably one of the best video game movies ever made. Even though it isn't a video game, but I mean, the amount of video game references that are in this, it might as well be a video game movie. I loved it. A lot of my friends didn't, and I'm like, why? What is wrong with you? And they're like, I don't like the right. It's just suck it. I don't care. This is a great movie. I love Scott Pilgrim. Oh yeah, here we go. Scream, the saga. Probably. I don't know how I feel about this box set. It comes with Scream 1 to 4, and it also includes 2 bonus feature discs with a lot of stuff on it. But it's like weird, like the front is cool, like I like that, and like the way that they have it so that like when you put them in, it like says Scream 1, 2, 3, and 4. But I don't like this shit, like on the side, how it just says Scream 1, 2, 3, and 4. I mean, decent set for the price, and I mean there's Scream, all of them are good. Obviously the first one's the best, and the third one's kind of shit. The Secret World of Arrietty, probably one of the lesser appreciated Ghibli movies. It's certainly one of the weaker ones. Not bad. It's basically just an animated version of The Borrowers. I think it's based on the book, too, that The Borrowers was based on. So it's basically just that. This is a fucking classic. Another Criterion Collection. 7 Samurai. Classic. Absolute classic. This inspired so many movies. Akira Kurosawa at his absolute best. This is the truest definition of like an epic. Like, this movie is so long that there's like an intermission in the middle of it, and like the packaging, it's just like, it's like this cardboard matte finish to it. It's got like a really nice book, and like Criterion just, like a full-blown book with like details and shit. Criterion just like, every time a movie gets a Criterion release, that's the version you need to get. It doesn't matter what the movie is. They always nail it out of the park. If you haven't seen Seven Samurai, highly recommend it. It's one of, if not the best samurai film ever shot. I'm just gonna kind of gloss Shark Week. I grew up watching Shark Week. This was back when Shark Week wasn't shit. Now it's shit because they make like fake documentaries and stuff. These are back in like the times when Shark Week was still good. Shaun of the Dead, one of my favorite comedies. One of the best zombie movies ever made. One of the funniest comedies. It's a classic. I don't know what else to say about it. It's an absolute classic. I've watched this movie so many times I've lost count. Shazam, you know, probably one of the best DC movies that they've made. I remember when this was announced, I was like, I don't give a shit. I don't even know who Shazam is because I'm not that diehard of a DC fan. But I figured, whatever, I'll go see it. Went to see it. Pleasantly surprised. It felt like a modern day 80s movie. Very good. I'm excited for the second one. One of the best DC movies out there. Sherlock Holmes. I mean, it's good. It's entertaining. I mean, considering this came out around the same time that Iron Man came out, it's solid stuff. Silent Hill. I'm gonna review this someday. Very underappreciated film that I think got a lot more hate than it deserved. This is one of the best video game movies ever made. As far as like theme and like actual appreciation for the source material. This is one of the few movies that got it right. But people still didn't like it. I'm going to talk about it someday. Oh, here we go. A Silent Voice. One of the greatest animated films ever made, but also one of the most depressing animated films ever made. If you want a good cry, if you want to make yourself feel shitty, Sin City. Great movie too. I haven't seen the second one because I was going to get it in 3D and I still haven't. Robert Rodriguez, good stuff. The Sky Crawlers, which is directed by the guy who made Ghost in the Shell. It's okay. It ain't bad. It's not terrible. It's not great. It's just kind of exists, you know. Snowpiercer, another Bong Joon-ho movie. Same director as Memories of Murder, The Host, Parasite. Great movie. Probably Chris Evans' best performance. He's really good in this. Like genuinely, amazingly good in this. He's Captain America. So everybody just thinks of him as Captain America. But if you want to see him in a role that isn't Captain America, where he's a lot more personal, check this out. It's a really good movie. This is a movie that I thought was going to be a piece of shit. And if you even go back to my movie for Sonic the Movie, like the animated OVA, I said that this was going to be a piece of shit. Sonic the Hedgehog, this was not a piece of shit. Somehow, I don't know how. This is like one of the greatest redemption arcs I think I've ever seen in a movie. It was first announced, everybody hated it. Sonic looked like a fucking furry in a Sonic costume. It was the most atrocious, disgusting thing I've ever seen. They went back, they fixed it, they made him look like Sonic. Somehow this movie was good. I still, to this day, do not understand how this movie was good. I went to go see this on Valentine's Day with my ex at the time, and it blew our minds. I was honestly shocked at how good this was. This was the best Jim Carrey performance since probably like the 90s movies that he did. This feels like peak Jim Carrey again. Sonic was good. It was funny. It was actually, Southpaw, from the writer of Sons of Anarchy, Jake Gyllenhaal. It's basically Rocky, if Rocky was like rated R and a lot grittier. Really good. Very depressing though. If you've seen Sons of Anarchy, then you know like the depressing tone that show's got. This has it too. Fuck this movie. I hate it. I don't even know why I have it. I paid like 50 cents for it. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage. Spawn sucks. The comics are good. The animated series back in the day was good. This is fuck. Speed. Damn, like peak Keanu Reeves, man. This movie's great. I love this. It's solid stuff. I have Speed too, but I don't have it on Blu-ray. But I love Speed. Dennis Hopper was great in it. He chewed the scenery harder than like fucking a beaver chews wood. It was hilarious. And it's good. It's solid, tense, good performances, good shit. Alright, these are one whole bundle, but I'm just going to talk about them in one go. Spider-Man 1, 2, 3. These are some of the fucking ugliest Blu-ray boxes I've ever seen. Like, look at this shit. This looks like look at it. It looks like a Photoshop. Like, it looks like a placeholder. It looks like placeholder art. They're good Blu-rays, but shit, man, are they ever hideous? Like, this straight up looks like a placeholder. Like, this is like what you see on, like, the box where it says box art not finalized or whatever the fuck. And then they pop this out and you're like, ugh. Why couldn't they just put the original box art on this? Why did they have to do this crap? It's atrocious. I hate it. Spider-Man Homecoming in 3D. A solid 3D. Solid Spider-Man movie. Very good Spider-Man. One of the better ones. Great 3D. I mean, it's good. I don't have Far From Home yet, because that's one that I want the 3D. You have to import the son of a bitch, because we never got a 3D release over here. And speaking of importing 3D, Into the Spider-Verse 3D. This is the Australian version, because it's the only way to get the son of a bitch on 3D in English that will work on a North American player. So this is a region-free copy that is 3D. Amazing 3D, by the way. Really, this is one of those movies that was made for it. You can't get it over here in 3D. So that's what I had to do. I had to import this Australian copy. Worth it, though. It's still got all the same shit that our Blu-rays got. It just includes the 3D version. SpongeBob, Sponge Out of Water. This is... it's the only SpongeBob movie I own. It's like a bad drug trip. It was funny, but like in a crazy ass SpongeBob kind of way, you know. Like when you watch the SpongeBob movies, you just kind of they're ridiculous. You know what you're getting into. I haven't seen the new one yet, but this one was like I remember watching this and I was just thinking to myself like if I was on shrooms, this shit would have been like perfect. Starship Troopers Invasion by the same director as Appleseed. Good movie, probably the best sequel to Starship Troopers that they've made. I mean it's anime, it's CGI anime, but it's way better than Starship Troopers 2 and 3. One's great. I don't have one yet. Star Trek. I remember when this was announced, everybody was like, this is probably going to suck balls. Spoiler alert, it didn't suck balls. These are damn good movies. Star Trek is really, really good. And by extension, Star Trek 2, Into Darkness. I also really liked it. I don't know why people say this is bad. It's not bad. This is the 3D version with like the 3D holograph of the Enterprise falling out of the sky. Great 3D. Solid movie. I don't get what everybody's problem with that one was. Star Wars, the complete saga. As far as like Star Wars Blu-rays go, this is basically the way to own it. The only thing I don't like about this is that obviously because of the way George Lucas works, none of the original cuts are not on here. So, you know, you're buying this, but you're getting the heavily butchered version of New Hope and the horrible butchered version of Return of the Jedi. Thankfully, Empire Strikes Back was not fucked with too much, and then obviously you get 1, 2, and 3, which are kind of throwaway, whatever. But you get like 2 bonus discs with like every single piece of Star Wars media that was ever made back then. So you get commercials, radio spots, fucking everything, all the way back to like the first Star Wars. This is a great set. It's just fuck. I hate the George Lucas's versions of them. Collector's edition, Force Awakens. This is the only way to get it in 3D, so I bought the collector's edition. This is the import because it was cheaper and also region free. Some of the best 3D I've seen, easily in the top 10. Good amount of pop-up, good depth. The ships fly at your eyes, good scale, really good 3D, honestly. Star Wars Rise of Skywalker. I should probably review the Star Wars movies at some point. Super 8, great, really good movie. Feels like a modern day E.T. I think it was pretty underrated. Not many people talk about it anymore. Probably one of the best train crash sequences I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, I liked it a lot. It feels like Stand By Me had a baby with like E.T. with a little bit of like Close Encounters of the Third Kind thrown in for good measure. Superbad, one of my favorite comedies of all time. This movie is fucking hilarious. I've seen it so many times. I was these people. Like this movie, I was particularly Seth. I love this movie. It's so quotable. Tarzan. This one only includes the first one for some reason. This is one of those Blu-rays where for some reason they didn't include Tarzan 2. I mean, I'm not really complaining. I would never watch it. It's just weird that this is like one of the ones that didn't have a sequel. It was a sequel, right? Or am I fucking crazy? Or am I thinking of a series? I don't remember. Ted 2. Ted 1, hilarious. Ted 2, okay. I don't think Ted 2 is nearly as funny as the first Ted, but Ted is fucking funny. It's a great, fucking hilarious movie. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I only got this because it was super cheap. And unfortunately, I don't know if you can see it, but like I cut the side here because this Blu-ray came bundled with like fucking masks, but like the way that they did it, it was like a piece of cardboard that was literally stuck to the side of the case and like folded over, and it stuck out like a sore thumb and it looked horrible, so I had to cut it off, which is fitting considering the movie that it was attached to. Terraformars. It's okay. Not the greatest anime. Kind of solid 7 out of 10. Fucking classic. Terminator. It's classic. Cyberpunk. Peak 80s sci-fi. It's great. By extension, Terminator 2, the Skynet edition, which is probably the best way to best set you could have for this, because it includes like every version of the movie plus like a shitload of bonus features and stuff. That being said, I would like to get the 3D copy of this, but the only way to get the 3D version that will play in North America, for whatever reason, is to buy the fucking South Korean copy of it. That makes no sense to me. It was released in theaters in 3D here, so why did the 3D Blu-ray not come out here? If I want to get the 3D copy, which also includes the 4K version, I have to import it from South Korea for like $80. Why? I don't fucking get it. Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines. I think this movie got a lot more hate than it deserved. I think it's a decent sequel. Obviously, when you compare it to Terminator 2, it's going to be a fucking train wreck, but it's not that bad. I would probably review it someday. Terminator Salvation. Still not bad. Not great. Passable sequel. Whatever. Terminator Dark Fate. Much better than Genesis. It's the only one I don't have, actually, is Genesis. For reasons that are pretty obvious. Piece of shit. I like Dark Fate. I thought it was pretty cool. This is the Steelbook, the 4K Steelbook. It was cheap. It's the only reason I bought it. Otherwise, I would have just got the normal Blu-ray. But it was actually cheaper to get the Steelbook 4K version than it was to just buy the normal Blu-ray. So thus, we have Dark Fate. This is the end. Fucking hilarious. The idea of taking all of these comedic actors and throwing them together in one room and then having the apocalypse surround them as the plot device. This movie's fucking funny. The amount of self-aware shit in this. I love this movie. This is a great comedy. Titanic in 3D. Surprisingly, gorgeous 3D. Like genuinely stunning 3D, because it's another one of those ones where James Cameron supervised it. And when you have a director who created Avatar, the best 3D movie ever made, taking one of his old classics and then supervising the 3D, obviously it's gonna be good 3D. This is really good 3D. This is a great set. Tons of bonus features on it. I really like Titanic. Say what you will. Back in the day, it was like when I was younger, it was like if you like Titanic, you were automatically gay, because it was like it's chick flick. And I used to tell people, I don't like Titanic. I only like the first part when the ship starts, or the second tape where the ship starts to sink. Because that's what you did back then. It was like the 2-tape VHS set, and the second tape was was right around the time that the ship hits the iceberg. But overall, I like the movie a lot now, that I'm older and I appreciate cinema a lot more. It's a really good movie. Sure, it's still a chick flick to some degree, but not really. Also, Titanic. I've never watched this. I found it at the dollar store for $1. It's just the Titanic, except this is the British miniseries. This could be shit. This could be good. I don't know. I've never actually watched it. Tokyo Godfathers from Satoshi Kon. Fantastic movie. One of the best Christmas movies. Super depressing, though. Very real movie. Toy Story in 3D. 3D is good. It's a Pixar movie. It's Toy Story. It's the first Toy Story. You watch this now and it has definitely aged. You can definitely tell this was like the first CGI movie when you watch it nowadays. But it's still Toy Story. It's still classic. Toy Story 3, not the 3D version. Another great movie. Personally, I think they should have ended it here. Toy Story 4 was decent, but I mean, I like Toy Story 4. It's good. But I feel like this one should have ended it, because this one had the most emotional weight for me at the end. I feel like this ended the story. I don't really understand why they felt the need to do a Toy Story 4. Trailer Park Boys, Countdown to Liquor Day. I love Trailer Park Boys. I'm Canadian. These are like our best imports. Or our best exports next to, I don't know, what the fuck else Canada can provide. Maple syrup? I don't know. This is a hilarious movie. The Trailer Park Boys in general are hilarious. This is a great movie. By extension, Trailer Park Boys don't legalize it. Another great, hilarious movie. They're great movies. A fucking metal pack of Transformers. This is so cheap that when you actually open it and you look at it, the disc that they included just says disc 1, which means that they literally took the 2 disc, split it up, and then just threw that disc into this metal pack, and we're just like, well, as we were calling it a day. Dark of the Moon, decent. This is the 3D cut. The 3D in this is amazing. Like, we're talking like almost Avatar levels of amazing. Even though the movie itself is kind of throwaway. But this 3D cut, holy shit. It's good. This was the last good one, as far as I'm concerned, of Michael Bay's trilogy, that is. Tremors Attack Pack. This includes Tremors 1 to 4. I love Tremors. I reviewed 1, 2, and 3. I will review 4 and cover the rest of the ones that I haven't covered yet. Great pack. Got them all. It's got behind the scenes bonus features, you know. I mean, this is basically the best way to buy Tremors. Tremors 5. It's okay. Mixed bag. Burt Gummerback was great. Jamie Kennedy can suck a nut. Tropic Thunder. One of the best comedies. I fucking love Tropic Thunder. This is a movie that would not be able to be made nowadays. You would never see Tropic Thunder in today's climate. There's no way that a movie like this would be able to get made nowadays. Tucker and Dale versus Evil. This is a movie that I knew nothing about. I just picked it up because I was like, whatever. I mean, it's got Alan Tudyk in it. Whatever, it's good. It's basically just about two hillbillies that live out in the woods, and a bunch of teenagers start accidentally killing themselves on their property, and the hillbillies think that the teenagers are crazy, while the teenagers think that the hillbillies are the serial killers that are killing them off. It's fucking hilarious. Ultraman Orb. Yeah, I do own some Ultraman shit. This is the only Ultraman Blu-ray that I have. It's okay, I never finished it. I think I got halfway through. It's a Mill Creek Blu-ray, so it's very bare bones. But, I mean, it includes the entire series plus the movie. So, I mean, at the very least, at least Mill Creek is releasing the Ultraman series over here. So I'll give them credit for that, even though they're very bare bones. Untouchables, classic old gangster flick with Kevin Costner, Sean Connery. It's a great movie. Great movie. I don't know what else to say about it. What else we got here? VHS 2, the only good VHS series in the series. This one's actually good. The rest are shit. VHS Viral made me want to die. First one had its moments, but 2 is like genuinely good. Most of the shorts in this are genuinely good. One of them is even directed by the guy who directed The Raid. Pretty good stuff. Oh, another Metal Pack, my favorite. War of the Worlds, the remake. Spielberg one. I love this movie a lot. I love it a lot. Again, Metal Pack, so it's scratched to shit. You can probably see the scratches in the light. Good movie. Shitty box. Warcraft. It was cheap. That's the only reason I grabbed it. I'm not a huge Warcraft fan. The movie was okay. I'm sure people who were like fans of the games hated this. The Walking Dead. Season 1. I bought this when Season 1 just came out. This is the only season of The Walking Dead that I own. The first episode is still my favorite. I think the first episode of the show is, on its own, is like a standalone, decent movie. Say what you will about the series, but the first episode is a fucking masterpiece as far as like zombie stuff goes. WALL-E. Great Pixar movie. One of the best Pixar movies out there. I don't know why WALL-E never got a 3D release. I feel like this would have been prime for it, but for some reason it's like one of the few Pixar movies that they just never gave a 3D release to. Watchmen Director's Cut. I don't know what to say about it. It's a bloated Zack Snyder flick. It's okay. It's decent. It's got its moments. It's really long. Way longer than it has any right to be. White House Down. Roland Emmerich, guy who made Independence Day and Godzilla, 1998. It's a stupid Hollywood action movie with Channing Tatum and Jamie Foxx. That's all you really need to know. You go into this expecting it to be dumb. This released the same year as Olympus Has Fallen. Olympus Has Fallen was definitely the more serious movie. This one is the more popcorny, entertaining flick. The Wolverine, I mean, it's fucking better than Origins. This was decent up until the end. I think the end was kind of weird, where he faced off against Silver Samurai, and he kind of looked exactly like Shredder from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. It's better than Origins. Logan is obviously the best one, but I don't have Logan. Wonder Woman 3D. This is another import because it was cheaper. Decent 3D. One of the better DC movies. I love Wonder Woman. 1984 was a bit of a disappointment, but this original one is really good 3D. World's End, one of the best comedies and I've seen in a long time. Shaun of the Dead's obviously my favorite of the Cornetto trilogy, but I think they're all good in their own right. This is good. Hot Fuzz was great. It's good stuff. It's more serious in tone than Hot Fuzz was, that's for sure. World War Z. Really good 3D, but the theatrical cut is the only one that's in 3D, and the theatrical cut sucks in comparison to the unrated cut, even though the unrated cut really doesn't do much. Decent 3D, though, so there's that. I mean, I love the book, so I wish that the book had been... I feel like an HBO like mini-series of the book would have been way better than the movie. Wreck-It Ralph, 3D cut, great 3D. It's a Disney movie, of course it has great 3D. It's Wreck-It Ralph, one of the best video game movies ever made. White Snake... is a Chinese CGI animated movie that I knew nothing about. I just saw it on the Walmart shelf, and I was like, whatever, all right, G-Kids released it, I'll give it a shot. Picked it up. It's decent, it ain't bad, it's beautifully animated. The voice acting's a bit shit, so I feel like I should have watched it, because I watched it in the dub. I should have watched the original Chinese language, I think I would have appreciated it more. But it ain't bad for a movie that I knew absolutely nothing about. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Classic. It's classic. Great. For the time, this still looks good. Like the way that they combined the hand animated drawing with live action footage still holds up well. The Wolf of Wall Street, one of DiCaprio's best roles, a movie that was hilarious that probably shouldn't have been as funny as it was. Great performance. Great movie. Great movie. The amount of fucks that are said in this movie, lost count of it. X-Men, good. X2, the best one of that original trilogy. Last Stand, kind of shit. One of my favorite movies ever made, Your Name. I adore this movie to bits. I've watched it continuously, multiple times. It is in the top 3. Sometimes Battle Royale and this will switch back and forth depending on how I'm feeling. But Your Name is easily in my top 5 films of all time. It's a masterpiece. Easily the best anime film ever made, best cartoon. You're next. Adam Wingard. This was one of his first movies. He went on to direct the Death Note movie, which made me want to die, and then the Blair Witch remake, that made me want to die. And then he made Godzilla vs. Kong, which was good, so I don't know how that happened, but this was his first movie. This was the one that got his attention. Zodiac, David Fincher, probably one of the best true crime movies ever made. I love true crime. I'm a sucker for that stuff. I'm like a white bitch when it comes to true crime stuff. I love it. And Zodiac is one of the greatest true crime films ever made. The tone that this movie has is like unlike any other. So it's like gives you like the same kind of like vibes as like Memories of Murder and like Seven. Zombievers. This is an import because it was cheaper that way. This shouldn't have been good. It's literally a movie about zombie beavers picking off people at a fucking cabin in the woods. This should not have been good. This is actually pretty good. I don't know why. I don't know how they pulled it off, but they somehow managed to pull it off. And that does it for the Blu-rays. Now, we're going to talk about DVDs, because there's a shitload of those too. Fuck. So thankfully the DVDs are going to be easier to go through, because you're gonna notice a running theme with a lot of these. I haven't watched them. I used to work at a video store. I used to be an assistant manager at one, and we got a lot of DVDs. A lot of people would just bring them in for like store credit, and a lot of them I would just take because they were so shit that I knew nobody was gonna watch them. So I just took them, and a lot of them I haven't watched. But a lot of these movies are here for reviews, so let's just get on with it. Arnold Schwarzenegger Comedy Collection. This includes Twins, Kindergarten Cop, and Junior. Art of the Devil 3. I haven't seen this yet. It's like I don't know. I don't know. It looks like torture porn. I haven't seen it yet. Three Extremes 2. This is kind of like VHS, where it's like an anthology series. Haven't seen it. Abraxas. Fucking Abraxas. Guardian of the Universe. Has nothing to do with Gamera. I don't know what the fuck this is. I got it from a thrift store for like 50 cents. Or $2. The tag is even still on it. Figured I would review it at some point. It looks like garbage. Afro Samurai. Pretty good anime. One that I would like to upgrade to Blu-ray. All I have it is on DVD. I have a lot of animes on DVD that I would like to upgrade to Blu-rays because some of them deserve it, such as Appleseed, and by extension, Appleseed Ex Machina. I love the Appleseed movies. These are great movies, and these need to be Blu-rays. This one isn't even an official case. I mean, I have the official discs, but the case on the outside is like printer paper because it was missing the slipcover. So that was one I would like. Both of these I would like to replace on Blu-ray. But again, guess what? They're expensive. Alien 3000. You can definitely tell this came from a video store because it's got the horror tag. It's got another horror tag. It's got a gallery logo on it. It's got a barcode on the front. It's got one of those like shitty like lock cases that, yeah, fucking garbage. And it came loose in the case. That's how good that is. It's also scratched to shit, so it probably doesn't even work. Just a bunch of idiots. Brendan Fraser, Steve Buscemi, Adam Sandler. They rob a radio station. Or they hold a radio station hostage in order to try to get their band's music played on the air. It's fucking hilarious. Arachnophobia. Really good. Horrible DVD though. The transfer sucks. I need to get this on Blu-ray. It's like dark and grainy as shit. I hope the Blu-ray looks better than that. Batman Forever, or Batman Beyond, Return of the Joker. The Batman Beyond movie. This is the uncut version. I don't know if you can get this on Blu-ray. A Better Tomorrow. I have not seen this. A Better Tomorrow 2. This is the remake, so I'm pretty sure that this is the South Korean one. Yeah, this is the South Korean remake of the first one of this. Except this is the sequel to the actual A Better Tomorrow with Chow Yun-fat. So, I need to get the actual original A Better Tomorrow. I haven't seen these. Blood, The Last Vampire is a good movie. This is a really good movie. Another one that I would like to get on Blu-ray. Don't have it on Blu-ray. Really gorgeous animation. This piece of shit, I don't even know what this is. I got it for free. Blood of the Dragon. That just screams like a bootleg. Like, that's just shit. That's so bad. But hey, I mean, at least it's region free. And I mean, look at the disc. That looks legit. Oh, it smells. It even smells like bootleg. Boondock Saints. I mean, it's okay. I think it's funny. This is a shitty Blu-ray though. That's like a lot of like the trend with like some of these Blu-rays. The covers and like just the disc itself, like the way it's laid out, it looks like ass. This is no exception. The Children of the Corn remake. Chillerama. Haven't seen this. It was one of the ones I got from the video store. It just looks like an anthology. It looks like shit. It's like a fucking low-budget garbage. Christine. Not great. One of John Carpenter's weaker movies. Haven't read the book, but this movie's pretty boring. It's pretty dull, honestly. Lucio, I'm pretty sure this is Lucio Fulci movie. City of the Dead, or City of the Living Dead. It's one of those Italian exploitation zombie flicks. It is what it is. Haven't reviewed it yet, probably will. Broken Lizard's Club Dread. I really liked this when I was growing up, but I'm scared to watch it because I haven't seen it since I was a teenager, and I'm worried that it's not going to hold up quite as well. I don't know. I mean, it's the same people that made Super Troopers. So, I don't know. I'm kind of nervous to watch that because I remember loving it as a kid, and I really don't want to go back and have that ruined for me. Comic-Con Episode 4, A Fan's Hope. This is basically just a documentary about a crew following nerds at Comic-Con. The Critters franchise, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and one of those like cheap-ass fucking DVD sets. Thankfully, this isn't one of those ones where they double-side it, because I hate that more than anything. I've only seen Critters 1 and 2. I haven't seen the other ones. I'm going to review them. They've been on the to-do list for quite a while. Cropsy, good movie, good documentary about a mental asylum and stuff like that. It's decent stuff. It's interesting. I love true crime and I love mystery stuff like that. Death Sentence, which is basically a remake of Death Wish. I really liked this a lot, actually. This is one that I wouldn't mind replacing with a Blu-ray copy. I think Kevin Bacon did a great job in this. I really liked Death Sentence. I think this was a very underrated movie, and I would like to get the Blu-ray for it. The Descent. The original uncut version. So thankfully, this is the DVD that comes with the original ending. Not the butchered, shitty American ending. This is the actual original ending. If you're going to watch it, this uncut version is the way to watch it. Otherwise, it just kind of ruins the entire ending. Destination Truth. I don't know. I mean, when I was a kid, I used to believe in this shit. I don't much anymore. But I think Josh Gates is a really entertaining host. I think Destination Truth is a really fun show. Even if a lot of it's bullshit. I watch it more or less as a vlog than anything else. The Digimon movie. This is one of my favorite movies growing up. I love Digimon movie. I've reviewed it. Watch the video if you want to see my thoughts on it. But this DVD is really rare now and hard to find and very expensive. So I'm glad that I bought it when I did. I think it's like almost $100 now. I picked it up for like 10. So I'm glad that I got this because now it's super expensive. Dragon Heat is another one that came from the video store. You can tell by the tags that are all over it. Haven't seen it. I don't know why I have this. I've reviewed this. Anybody who's seen the review already knows I think this is a stupid fucking movie. It's got decent action, decent CGI in it, but this was the original copy that I bought when it first came out. I don't like the movie enough to buy the Blu-ray for it, so I'm just content with my DVD. This one pisses me off. Evangelion 3.33. Adore the shit out of Evangelion 3, but I'm fucking dumb, and when this came out, I went to Walmart to go pick up the Blu-ray, saw that this was out, grabbed this, had a lapse of judgment. I guess my brain wasn't working at the moment. Went, bought this, left the store, got into my vehicle, looked at it, and realized I had bought the DVD. I was so fucking mad because I'd already opened it. That was how I realized it was a DVD. I'm stupid. So now I have Evangelion 3.33 on DVD and not Blu-ray. This is a movie that needs to be on Blu-ray. I need to replace it with the Blu-ray version. However, the Blu-ray version is expensive now because I'm fucking dumb, so now I'm just stuck with the DVD. Evil Dead Trap. This has nothing to do with Evil Dead. It's just some Japanese horror movie that I have not watched. It was another one that I got from the video store. Somebody donated it. It's got like a weird blue case that I've never seen like a DVD have before. I don't know. It smells like a bootleg. I don't know, there's just something about bootleg DVDs. They have a certain, like, they almost smell like cleaner, if you know what I'm talking about. Evolution. I love this movie. I think it's a really underrated movie. It was done by Ivan Reitman. It's a good movie. I like it. It's not definitely not Ghostbusters quality, but it's basically just Ghostbusters, but instead of ghosts, it's aliens. I liked it a lot. I think it's a really underrated movie. This is one that I would like to replace on Blu-ray, but I don't even think that this movie got a Blu-ray release. I could be wrong. Alright, extra weird sampler from something weird video. This is another one of those DVD trailer compilations. That's all this is. It's just a bunch of trailers. And there's a fuckload of them. So many that I haven't seen it all. He's seen it all. I actually bought this because of James Rolfe. He actually talked about this in his DVD collection video from years and years ago. And I thought it was interesting and I found it, picked it up. There's a lot of good stuff on here. It's all terrible crap, but I mean, it's there. The Eye 3. The Eye is like a classic Asian horror flick. I haven't seen Eye 2. I haven't actually seen Eye 3 yet. This is one that I bought years ago. Never watched it. I'm pretty bad for that when it comes to like DVDs. I buy a lot of DVDs and then I just don't watch them. Festival of Fright. This is a 3-disc collection. All horror movie trailers. And I'm talking like old school, like the 50s, 40s era horror trailers. Like this is like Frankenstein era type stuff. This isn't Grindhouse. This is like actual like old school black and white horror. 3 DVDs worth of trailers. There's a fuckload of stuff on here. That's it right there. 3.5 hours. 3.5 hours of trailers. I haven't even started this yet. It's kind of one of these. One thing that's nice about those Festival of Fright and like all these other DVD trailer compilations is that on like Halloween, if you're having like a Halloween party or something, you can put those on and have them in the background and they set like a mood. Speaking of like other copies of Advent Children that I have, Final Fantasy VII Advent Children. This is the DVD normal version. This is the limited edition collector's version of the movie. It comes with the DVD 2-disc set, which is obsolete now because Complete is way better. It comes with a novelization of like some short stuff. It comes with a script of the movie. And it also comes with like some art cards with like different various art from the movies on it. It's a good set. Again, obsolete now because the Complete version is the better movie, but I just like the set. Firefly, great show that was criminally canceled far too soon. At least we got Serenity, which for some reason I don't have. I love Firefly. Nathan Fillion, fucking everybody in this show is great. This is a really great show. I miss Firefly a lot. I gotta pick up Serenity at some point. The Flowers of War, Christian Bale stars in like a Chinese movie. This is another one that's like on the level of like Schindler's List where it's like really depressing and hard to watch. Really good movie though. Friday the 13th, the uncut version of the first movie. Yeah. I think this is the only one I have. This and the remake. I don't have any of the other Friday the 13th movies. This one, I don't even fucking know. Full Metal Alchemist, The Conqueror of Shambhala. I don't even like Full Metal Alchemist, to be perfectly honest with you. George of the Jungle. I bet half you forgot this movie even existed. I saw this in theaters, man. That's how I can date myself really, really, really well. I don't even remember when the fuck this came out. Some point in the 80s, or not in the 80s. Some point in the 90s. Shit, man, it doesn't even say on the disc. Damn. It was an old ass movie. I saw this in theaters. Ghost in the Shell, the original version of it, the first movie. This is the original manga video release. Good version of it. I also have the Ghost in the Shell 2.0, which is the same movie, except they took some of the scenes and redid them in CGI. So it's basically like a George Lucas special edition. That is why I have both, because this one has a better transfer, but it also has the CGI shit that they added to it. This one is a weaker transfer, but it's traditionally the original Ghost in the Shell. and I don't think you can get these on Blu-ray in the same set. I think they consider them separate movies. I don't know why. Ghost in the Shell. Or not Ghost in the Shell, Ghost Rider. I'm thinking, I don't know, man. I mean, considering what we have now with the MCU, this movie's shit in comparison, but I don't know. I like it. It's Nicolas Cage being a ham. The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo trilogy. This is the actual. I think it's the Norwegian. I think it's a Norwegian or Swedish movie. I can't remember off the top of my head, but this is the entire trilogy. I haven't seen these. I've only seen the first one, and I've only seen the David Fincher remake of it with Daniel Craig. I have not seen the original cut. Godzilla, the original cardboard. I'm pretty sure this was a Criterion one. Yeah, Classic Media. This was their first attempt at it. It's a good set, honestly. This was the first version of the original Godzilla I owned. The only thing I hate is when you open it, it makes that horrible crunchy sound. I don't like that. Overall, this is a really good case. Good cardboard, solid case. It's good, but it's obsolete now because of the Criterion collection. So I just own a copy of Godzilla on DVD. For some reason. I don't know why. Actually, I own multiple versions of this because I have other Godzilla shit in here. Such as the Godzilla collection. This sucks because I bought this. There was two versions of this set released. One of them was this one, and then there was another one that was like an actual, had like a cover over top of it. You open it up, and there was like the hard cardboard cases that were similar to this one because it's from the same set. It came with like a bunch of the boxes, and it was like a really nice set. That was the one I ordered. They sent me this fucking garbage, which is literally just two DVD cases with a bunch of the DVDs inside them from that set. It sucks. I mean, they're the Showa Godzilla films. They're good for what they are, but I just don't like this set. I wish that I'd gotten the better box set, but you can't get that now because it's expensive as shit. King Kong versus Godzilla. This is one of those movies, like these older Godzilla movies, I don't feel like I need them on Blu-ray because they're old movies tend to look shittier on Blu-ray anyway, so it doesn't really make a difference. So I'm just kind of, whatever, I'm content with the DVD. I don't feel the need to replace it with a Blu-ray. Same goes for this one, Godzilla vs. the Smog Monster, the Kraken release. It's fine for DVD. I don't really feel like I need a Blu-ray of it. Same with this one, Godzilla vs. Gigan, or Godzilla on Monster Island. They have both versions in here. Fine DVDs. Destroy All Monsters, another one that had a Blu-ray, but the Blu-ray is so fucking expensive that I'm not even gonna bother with it. There's no point. I'd rather just watch it on DVD. Godzilla 2000. This is the only reason I bought this was because this version, this is the Korean version, the South Korean release. This is the official South Korean release, but it's region free, and it includes the original Japanese cut of the movie, which at the time was the only way to see that version, but now that the Blu-ray is out, the Toho Collection Blu-ray, which also includes the Japanese cut, this is obsolete. I just keep it because it's cool to have. Godzilla the series. I bought this when I did the Godzilla series review. This is the set that was in that video. It is what it is. It's a shitty, very lackluster release. Whatever. Going to Pieces. I love this movie. This is a documentary about the history of horror. The history of the slasher series. Or the history of the slasher genre as a whole. From like its beginnings to like its downfall, stuff like that. Really good, great interviews. Very good movie. I love this a lot. Going into, I don't know. I haven't seen it. The Grudge, the extended original director's cut. I like this movie a lot, but obviously I like Ju-On more, the original Ju-On. But for a remake, this is pretty decent. Probably one that I should get the Blu-ray for, but I don't know if you can get this extended version on Blu-ray yet. I don't know. I haven't looked. One that I need to get the Blu-ray for, Halloween. This is just the original Anchor Bay shitty fucking garbage DVD release. This is one that I really want to get the Blu-ray for because I love the original Halloween. I love it to death. Hellraiser Hellworld. This is the only Hellraiser movie I have because it was free and I got it from the video store. Garbage. The Hitcher remake, also not very good. Sean Bean's decent in it, but other than that, it's kind of throwaway. Just another one of those throwaway late 2000s horror remakes that like with all the rage back then. Hot Tub Time Machine's funny. It's nothing to write home about. Whatever. Hotel Rwanda, another one that's like on the level of like Schindler's List. It's like a horrible fucking movie that's like a masterpiece of filmmaking, but you only want to watch it once. House of the Dead 2. Again, shitty fucking DVD that I got for free. the only reason I have it. I plan to review it, and it's just easier to rip the DVD copies than it is to try to find digital versions of these pieces of shit. The Image of Bruce Lee. I got this one from the same thrift store I got that Abraxas shit from. I don't know what the fuck this is. I think it's a dude named Bruce Lee with an I who plays Bruce Lee. I don't fucking know. Looks like shit though. Jackass number 2. I love the Jackass movies. I grew up with them. I tried to make my own Jackass movie when I was younger called Dumbass. I don't know if my mom still has that footage somewhere. If she does, maybe I'll upload it. It's pretty it's bad. But this is Jackass 2. I love Jackass 2. I also have Jackass 3.5, which is not Jackass 3. It's like a completely different movie. I'm really excited for Jackass 4. I wish Jackass 3 had an actual 3D release. It never did. The original Ju-On, one of the greatest Japanese horror films ever made. Fucking terrifying, creepy as shit movie. Kamikaze in Color. Dollar store find. I don't know. Just a documentary about World War II kamikaze bombers. Haven't watched it. It's probably garbage, but I got it from the dollar store, so who cares? These ones I also got from the dollar store a long time ago, and I never watched them. Karis. Both Karis movies, The Prophecy and The Revelation. I haven't seen these. I don't know if they're any good. They might be. I don't know. I know Matthew Lillard's in them, which is kind of weird. I don't know. Somebody tell me if these are any good, because I haven't watched them yet. Too Fat for 40 and An Evening with Kevin Smith. I like these a lot because it's basically just him talking on stage. I respect Kevin Smith a lot as a filmmaker. These are great. I think this is the one that includes his story about what it was like to work with Bruce Willis. So, not good. Was not a good experience, apparently. Let's continue this. We're almost done. We're almost done. I've filmed this. I've taken so many breaks from filming this video. Kung Fu Killer, Donnie Yen, another fucking 7-night rental. Video store one, good stuff. Last horror movie. Haven't seen it. Another video store one. We'll get to it eventually. A lot of these DVDs, like I said, a lot of these ones I haven't seen. Little Nicky. Guilty pleasure of mine. I really quite like Little Nicky. I'm not a big fan of Adam Sandler stuff for the most part. But Little Nicky, I grew up with. It came out when I was at a very impressionable age. I quite like it. This is one that I would like to replace with the Blu-ray because it's just a guilty pleasure of mine. Lost Tapes. This was when Animal Planet basically did a series of found footage shows based around different cryptos. So, Mothman, Bigfoot, the Loch Ness Monster, shit like that. Some of them were pretty decent. Some of them were pieces of shit. It's an okay show. I think it had a lot of promise, but they only ever did it for one season, I think. And this, ow! And this is the entire thing. I just hit myself in the fucking temple. Lupin the Third, another Lupin, Dead or Alive. This is one of the movies. I don't know where this fits into the timeline. I haven't seen all of Lupin the Third, so I'm not 100% sure where this fits in. This was good though. I did like this. One I want to get on Blu-ray. Guilty pleasure. Maximum Overdrive. Loved this when I was growing up. Serial Killer Trucks with an AC/DC soundtrack. Stephen King directed it. It's shitty. I love it for that reason. I don't know. I want to get this replaced on Blu-ray because this is a pretty crappy DVD for the most part. Most of these DVDs are shit. The Missing. I haven't seen this. Oh god, here we go. Mortal Kombat Annihilation. And you know how you can make this even shittier? Like, the extra cherry on top of this already dirty, filthy, fucked sundae. It's one of those double-sided discs where one side is the widescreen and the other is the full screen. So it's how could you make it shittier? Make it a disgusting double-sided disc. That's how you do it. Fuck, man. Everything about that movie is a fuck. Night of the Living Dead. The Tom Savini directed one. Actually pretty good. I think this is probably one of the few respectful remakes of Night of the Living Dead. This is the only respectful remake of Night of the Living Dead. This one's actually pretty solid, pretty well done, honestly. This is the only good Night of the Living Dead remake. Octopus 2, haven't seen it, got it for free. We'll review it someday. It's probably a piece of shit. I don't know. I remember seeing this on VHS tape when I was a kid. It's about as remember as a fucking Old Boy, one that I would like to get on Blu-ray. Probably one of the best Korean movies ever made. Great, twisted, phenomenal movie. Choi Min-sik, damn good. I don't even want to acknowledge the Spike Jonze one. Or not Spike Jonze. Maybe it was Spike Jonze. I don't remember who directed the shitty ass remake one. These are together, so I'm just gonna include them at once. Patlabor the movie 1 and 2. Great old school mech stuff. Mech movies. This one in particular is directed by the same guy that directed Ghost in the Shell, so this one has a different art style than this one. But overall, they are both good. I should get them on Blu-ray. I don't even know if you can. These are hulking monsters, so I'm just going to get these over with. This is the Breaking Bad Money Barrel. Limited edition Blu-ray set. The entire show is in here. It is, the way that it's set up, it's like all supposed to be like Petri dishes for each season. Breaking Bad's one of my favorite TV series of all time, so naturally I had to, if I was gonna buy it, I was gonna go all out. So naturally I bought the big ass motherfucker. What else I got? We got Twin Peaks from A to Z, which is, or from Z to A, sorry. This includes the entire show, the entire Revival series, as well as Fire Walk With Me, the movie. Great set. Really great set. The only thing I don't like about it is the design on the inside, because mine just happened to have like a ripped little piece of plastic here, which prevents stops the fucking discs from staying in place because it's all busted, which is real great considering how much I paid for this. Also got this limited edition Batman trilogy, which comes with you know, Dark Knight, or Batman Begins, Dark Knight Rises. Bunch of shit in here. It's a good set. The only thing I don't like about it is that it kind of like falls open if you put it, like automatically it starts to open if you try to stand it up. This is number 104,513 out of 141,500, so it's not quite that limited edition. Phone Booth, really good movie actually, pretty underrated one I think. One that I would like to replace with the Blu-ray copy of it. Kiefer Sutherland is great in this, so is Colin Farrell. It's one of those movies where like most of it takes place in like one spot, and I love movies like that, the high concept movies. If you can get if they're done right. This one's basically just Colin Farrell gets trapped in a phone booth with a sniper holding him hostage in the phone booth. It's really good. Very good movie. I quite like it. I'd like to replace that with the Blu-ray at some point. Pokemon, the first movie, the original DVD release. This is the one that has the shorts. It's also stupid expensive. All of these are, because I've also got Pokemon 2000 and Pokemon the Movie 3. All of these are the original DVD runs, so they're out of print now. They're friggin' expensive. All the bonus features are still on here, so I can't get rid of them because they're rare. They still include the bonus features that the Blu-ray doesn't have, you know. And I still have nostalgic connections to these because these are like some of the earliest DVDs that I got. I also have this one for some reason, Pokemon Jirachi Wishmaker. I don't even like this movie all that much. I don't know why I have it. I think it's because I got it for free. It's the only other Pokemon movie that I've got. What's this? Pontypool. This is a really good movie. It's a Canadian-made independent indie zombie movie about a bunch of people trapped in a radio station. If you have not seen Pontypool, I would highly recommend it. This is a really good movie. I should probably review that someday. It's a good movie. What else we got here? Jackie Chan's Project A2. Another rental. As you can tell from all the tags all over it. Good Jackie Chan movie, one of his earlier ones, so it's always good stuff. Quick, which is basically South Korean Speed, except instead of a bus, it's a motorbike. This movie's dumb. It's entertaining, but it's really, really dumb. There you go. Rego. Gonna review them someday. I don't know when, but I do have them. I'll cover them eventually. I don't know when it's gonna happen, but eventually. Goddamn. This one I got is like a Christmas present, so that's the only reason I have it. This is like the Walmart 2-disc limited edition that came with like a bonus disc that you can't get anymore, I think. I don't know. I don't even like Extinction. Who gives a shit? Robo Geisha. This movie's ridiculously just like, what the fuck? This was done by the people that made Tokyo Gore Place. If you've seen that, then you know what to expect from this one. This one is ridiculous. Should probably cover it someday. Robot Chicken. Season 2 and Season 3. I don't have Season 1. It's a good show. It's a good show. I liked it. Growing up, I used to watch that show religiously. Here's another piece of shit that I got from the video store for free. Rottweiler. Eat, sleep, fetch, kill. Man, I don't fucking know. this video store thing. I'll probably review it. That's basically why I collected most of this crap, so I could review it. That was what I was thinking when I was working at the video store. A lot of these videos, I was like, I'm never going to be able to buy this, so I might as well just... Same with this one. Samurai Chicks. I don't know. It's some Japanese movie that I haven't watched yet. It's black and white. It looks over the top. One of those gory Japanese movies. It could be a piece of shit. I don't know. I haven't watched it yet. This one's one of my favorite movies growing up. Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island. I love it. I hate that it doesn't have a Blu-ray release. This DVD is the only way to get it, which sucks. But I love it. I love Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island. I've already reviewed it. If you want my opinions on it, go watch the DVD. 7. Great movie. This is one I want to replace with a Blu-ray because I love 7, and this DVD sucks. It's one of those movies that you need to see on Blu-ray, I think. I love this movie a lot, so need to get that on Blu-ray. Shaolin Soccer. This is one that pisses me off that it hasn't come to Blu-ray because this movie's awesome. This is Stephen Chow, the same guy who did Kung Fu Hustle, CJ7, The Mermaid. Very funny, very good movie. Some movies even like take like even I think Avatar, The Last Airbender, like took inspiration from the way that the CGI is in this movie. It's like literally a soccer game if soccer games were being played by Super Saiyans. It's awesome, and it needs a Blu-ray release over here. It's been released on Blu-ray in other places, but not here. Shark Week. Again, I grew up with Shark Week. This was back when it was good, before the era of the shitty, you know, Meg Lives and all this other crap. The Shawshank Redemption. Currently, I think it's like ranked as the #1 movie of all time on IMDb. Super depressing movie. Great movie. Great movie. One that I would like to get the Blu-ray for. Because, you know, it's Shawshank. I should have the Blu-ray for it. This movie's dumb. Jackie Chan Shinjuku Incident. I remember watching this with my buddy. And we were, like, excited about it because it's Jackie Chan. And then we watched it and it's like, this sucks. This isn't even good. I think we laughed at a few parts, but I think for the most part, this movie was garbage. That pile is going to fall. This is another one of those Shock Festival. This is a really good set. This is like another one of those DVD trailer compilation sets. Except this one includes 2 discs plus a 3rd disc, which is nothing but radio spots for movies as well. So you get 2 discs worth of trailers, and then you get another disc full of TV spots. This is a hell of a good deal, good package. I really like this set a lot. Another one that I haven't watched completely through because it's fucking long. South Park, the movie. I need to get this on Blu-ray. I don't think it really matters considering the quality of the movie, of the animation, but it's South Park. I love this movie. This is next to Little Shop of Horrors. This is probably my 2nd favorite musical of all time. I love the South Park movie. Need to get it on Blu-ray. What else we got here? Space Jam. It's Space Jam. Hasn't aged as well as we remember. Speed 2. This movie sucks. I have like a nostalgic love for it because I grew up watching this, but it sucks. It's bad. Though the crash of the cruise ship is really good, like from a practical effects standpoint, it's really good. But this is like one of those movies that's like so bad it's terrible, or so bad it's funny. Like Willem Dafoe, his acting in this is some of the fucking... It's like on Nicolas Cage levels of hammy. Spider Forest, another Japanese horror movie that I have not watched. I do not know what it's about. There you go. Stephen King's The Stand. This is the miniseries. The original cut of the miniseries from the 90s. The one that started with Don't Fear the Reaper. This show has not aged well. I have not seen the new one. The new remake of it. Steam Boy, pretty good. Pretty solid anime movie from the creator of Akira. Solid stuff. Oh hell yeah, dude! The Street Fighter movie. It's another one of those ones that I own as a guilty pleasure because it's a shitty movie, but it's like it's an entertaining as fuck movie. What else we got here? We got this one's really good actually. Sukiyaki Western Django. It's a Takashi Miike movie, but I never would have even knew this existed had it not shown up at the video store I was working at. This is really good, like entertaining, crazy. It even has like Quentin Tarantino is in this. Like this is ridiculous. If you haven't seen this, I would highly recommend it because it's fucking crazy. Oh hell yeah, bro. The Adventures of Super Mario Bros. 3. This is a good show when you're drunk. I'm just gonna say that. This one, Sweet Home. I've reviewed this on the channel. I think it's a criminally underrated movie, and I think it's a hidden gem. I really, really liked it. But like I said in that review, it's never come out of outside of Japan on anything. It's never gotten a DVD release. So unfortunately, this is not authentic. This is a bootleg. Because it is the only way to get it, like literally you can tell. It's like printed on like a disc. It's from twisteddanger.com. It's a decent transfer. I think they took the transfer from the Laserdisc for it. But I wanted it on the shelf, and this is the closest thing that we were probably ever gonna get to a home release for it. So that is why I picked that up. This is another one of those combo packs. I mean, fucking Team America World Police, the first Jackass movie, and Beavis and Butthead Do America. All three of these are good. They're all entertaining in their own right. This just happens to have all three of them. This is the unrated version of Team America. The Blu-ray that was released does not have the unrated version of Team America. Again, I don't know why they keep doing shit like that. Teen Wolf 1 and 2. First one, it's classic old 80s flick. I've never seen the second one, even though it stars Jason Bateman. I picked this. This was like one of those Walmart $5 bin movies. But I don't know. Again, it's one of those shitty flip over. Decent stuff, though, for what it is. The original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie from the 80s. Or from 90. When did it fucking come out? I think this was like 1990. Yeah, I think it was like 1990. I loved this movie growing up. I don't have a nostalgia connection to 2 and 3 because I didn't grow up watching these. I just watched this one. I like this one a lot growing up. It feels like it's like a 80s 90s time capsule to me. I want to get it on Blu-ray though. So I'm probably going to do that at some point. Tech on Concrete. Fucking crazy anime movie. It's wild. Tokyo Sonata. Haven't watched it. Don't know what it's about. Torso. I mean, it's... Yeah. I mean, when you open it, there's like straight on like titties. Nudity on the inside. So it's like one of those types of movies. It's very clearly like a Grindhouse type movie from like 1973. Trailer Park Boys. Say Goodnight to the Bad Guys. This was like the final episode of the show prior to the movies, before they revived it for like the Netflix series of it. Good show. It's solid. It's like 40 minutes. It's not like a full-length movie, but it's good. It's good. I mean, if you're a fan of Tremors, the complete series. That's an ugly cover, dude. I hate that cover. That does not look like a graboid at all. I don't know what the fuck design that is. This is a decent show. I'll review it someday. This is the entire thing. It was like, I think it ran for like 13 seasons, or 13 episodes. Yeah, 13 episodes. This one actually has like the proper air order on it, thankfully, because when it aired on TV, it aired out of order. This is one of those Miramax double features. Frickin' Dragon Lord and Twin Dragons. It's Jackie Chan. You can't go wrong with Jackie Chan movies. Ultraman, the complete series. This is the original series on DVD. It's not one of those series that I feel like I need on Blu-ray. I'm content with the DVD. The only thing I hate about this is that all the discs are stacked on top of each other and they're DVDs, which means they scratch like fucking crazy. I hate when they do that with DVDs. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, we got my Hong Kong import of Ultraman the Next. This is real, but it's weird. I don't know. It's like I don't know. It's got like that bootleg cleaner smell. But this was the only way to get a physical copy of Ultraman the Next. This also includes the dub, which is fucking horrible because it's like an international dub, so it means it was dubbed over in China. It's very thin too. It's like one of those thin cases. I don't like. It looks very bootleg, but it's authentic. It's the real release. Oh yeah, United 93. That was a depressing movie, wasn't it? Paul Greengrass. Really good movie about the events that happened on the United 93 flight on 9/11. I was on TikTok yesterday, and there was like some footage of September 11th, and half the comments were like, "What is this? What's happening? Can someone please tell me?" And it made me feel old as fuck. And then I remembered that September 11th was 20 years ago. V for Vendetta. Solid movie. Probably one that I need to replace on Blu-ray. I mean, one of the good examples of an early comic book movie before they actually figured out what they were doing. Witchblade. This is a really good anime. One that I want to get the Blu-ray for, because I don't like having this on DVD. Very good show. very fan servicey, as you can tell from the cover. But it is solid. It's a pretty good show, and it's one of those animes that people don't really talk about. It's based on a comic. The Amazing Videos Volume 1. This is basically like Fail Army, but like it used to be on TV. I got it from a dollar store. I don't know why I even still have it. Another World Trade Center movie. World Trade Center. Decent movie. One of Nicolas Cage's actually good performances from back then. Solid movie. It's not the best. It's pretty good though. It's got its moments. And the final DVD that we have, Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! The movie. Yep. I don't know what else to say about it. And now that freaking DVDs are done, thank sweet Jesus for that. So now we're moving on to the miscellaneous crap because the DVDs and the Blu-rays are all done. Now we've got some other stuff to talk about here. So, I'm going to start with these. The VHS tapes, because I got a few of them. The Empire Strikes Back. The CBS Fox. This pile's about to fall. CBS Fox release of the VHS for Star Wars. It's so old that the sticker does not stay on it anymore. I'm going to have to glue that back into place. I like this version because it's the original version before it was screwed with. What else we got here? We got the CBS Fox release of Return of the Jedi. Again, the original release. Has not been CGI'd at all. It's good stuff. Most kids don't even know what the fuck this is. It's so old that the cover is like yellowish, which is smells of vintage. I got the original Star Wars, the original Superman movie. I paid 50 cents for it. So there's that. This is the original run. I still like that there's a Blockbuster sticker on it. Please be kind. To play is human, to rewind is divine. Oh, Blockbuster, how I miss you. Good movie, you know, all that shit. Let's see what else we got. Oh yeah, this fugly fucking thing. King Kong vs. Godzilla, the disgusting HGV VHS release with like the Godzilla that's not in the movie and the King Kong that isn't in the movie. Yeah, it's also broken, I think. Yeah, it's like got a broken hinge, so that's cool. But, yeah, it is what it is. I paid 99 cents for this. These were ugly, these HGV releases. These things were ugly back in the day. Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla. Who the hell did this one? Star Maker. Yeah, okay. Sure. Good cover art. I like the cover art. But, oh god. Man, there was no quality control back in the VHS times. And then, I also have this bad boy right here, which is the Godzilla 5 Rampaging Movies collection from, I think it was Scimitar. Yeah, Scimitar. The interesting thing about this is that it comes with 5 Godzilla movies. The original. This is factory sealed, might I add. Like, this still has its original, like, packaging on it. This has not been opened. And I already own the original Godzilla on so many different formats that there is literally no reason whatsoever to open this. So I'm going to leave this sealed. I also have Godzilla vs. Monster Zero. Also factory sealed still. You can even see the seam on it. Completely factory sealed. Godzilla vs. Mothra, the 64, whenever the fuck, yeah, 64. Factory sealed. Also the Scimitar release. This one, probably this fucking abomination of a film, which is absolute garbage. This one has been opened. But it's like in mint condition. That is the ugliest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. And then we got Terror of Mechagodzilla, which has also been opened. So 3 of them are still sealed, 2 of them have been opened. I love how it's got Godzilla's stomp of approval, whatever the fuck that means. That's the Scimitar. Those are all the VHS tapes that I've got. And then lastly, we have a couple of VCDs. These are interesting. This is basically the DVD format that was released in China before DVDs were a thing. This is The Great Outdoors. And as you can see, it is in a CD case. Like, it just looks like a CD case. It's 2 discs. in Chinese. The only player that will play these is my Sega Dreamcast. Nothing else will play these. I also have Good Will Hunting, the VCD for Good Will Hunting. These are weird, man. I don't know. They're just straight up like Chinese DVDs. But again, like the only way these will play is on a Sega Dreamcast. And then I got Mystery Men. When I saw this originally, I thought it was a soundtrack. So I grabbed it and I was like, oh, cool, the Mystery Man soundtrack. That's pretty dope. And then I looked at it and realized, oh, fuck, it's the movie in Chinese. Except it's very weird, man. It's very, very interesting. 2 discs. Will only play on a Dreamcast. VCDs are pretty interesting. I would like to get more of them if I could come across them, but I'm not going to go out of my way to buy them because they're just, you know, the Dreamcast is the only thing that will play them. Okay, we've come to the end. The only thing left is Laserdiscs. Thank God. This has taken way too long to film, and it's probably going to be much longer than I wanted the video to be. The Mind's Eye. I don't know what this is. It looks like a fucking drug trip with like a bunch of like early CGI. We got Demolition Man. The only problem with this is that Demolition Man is one of those laser discs that is notorious for disc rot. And I'm pretty sure that this Laserdisc probably has, like, I haven't watched this in a long time, but I'm fairly certain, like, it's hard to tell because of the, but I'm fairly certain that this probably has disc laser rot because a lot of these, this is one of those laser discs that is notorious for laser rot. We got Falling Down, Michael Douglas, basically just a man who's been pushed to his limits and goes on a fucking homicidal rampage is basically what ends up happening. It's a good movie. It's an entertaining movie. You know, the only problem with these is that I don't feel like hooking up my Laserdisc player to watch them. This is, some of you have already seen this because I did this in a Q&A. Godzilla 1985, probably the rarest thing in this entire collection that I own. A hard one to find. A really, really hard one to find. What else we got? We got Top Gun. This one's really cool because it's got like the fold out. Like, I really like Laserdiscs, man. Like, it's just like having a big piece of art. We got Stargate. I think this is like 2 discs long or something like that. Yeah, there's 2 discs in here. 3 sides, which means that you would have to flip this son of a bitch 3 times throughout the movie. You see why Laserdiscs failed? I mean, it's cool looking. Like, it's really cool to like have this giant piece of box art to look at, but like, fuck. The Blues Brothers, really great classic comedy. Really good movie. Another one that is, fuck, I don't even know. 3-sided. Which means that you will need to flip it 3 sides. That is why they fail. Could you think about this? Nowadays we have streaming capabilities. We could just watch whatever we want streaming. Back then, like 20 minutes into the movie, you'd have to get up out of your ass. Get up off your ass. Take the fucking massive disc out, flip it over, sit back down. It's such a pain in the ass. And the final movie in the collection is the signature collection of Jaws. This is the Laserdisc for Jaws. This set is one of my favorite Laserdiscs. This is one of my favorite Laserdiscs that I have because it includes, like, this was like the special edition back then in the day. Holy fuck. Alright, so this has like, fuck. This includes 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 fucking discs. Both of them are all of them are double-sided. So this thing's got like 6 discs to it. It came with like this really cool, like, big-ass booklet thing that had like artwork and like all kinds of crap in it. Like, that's cool as fuck, bro. I love it. Also, for the longest time, this was the only way to watch The Shark Is Not Working. That documentary that is now on the Blu-ray. For the longest time, this was the only way to watch it. It was only on here. And it also comes with the soundtrack. The only thing missing out of it when I bought it was the book, because it's supposed to come with the novel as well, but the novel was missing. So it just came with the, you know. But overall, that's it. That is the entire movie collection that I own. Holy fuck. That video went on way longer than I wanted to. I'm gonna say strawberries. If you made it to the end of this video, leave strawberries in the comments. Let me know that you made it to the end. Let me know that this filming was all worth it, because I've been filming this for 2 days now. But thank you guys if you actually sat through this whole fucking thing. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the continued support. I will see you guys in the next video. I am going to go chug like 10 gallons of water because my throat is hurting from talking so much. Bye.